Sorry, I am, of course, tardy. One of these days, I will shock you all. It may have happened like once. I don't know. I wish that the schedule widget allowed me to put like an approximate mark or an ish, because realistically, it's 2-ish, not 2 on the dot. So, I need to get the usual things done, and those usual things are tweeting and discording to let everyone know that we're getting going here, since Twitch, I always do this just in case, because Twitch notifications can be sometimes wonky, but last night Twitch notifications worked perfectly for me, so they're not always a complete piece of crap. I'm trying to be mindful of Beanie's cam, because I had to slightly adjust where his camera is, so I'm trying not to put my water down right in the camera path. And he is actually with us, he's just not on camera. He's like right about over there in the bed. I couldn't get a real good camera angle on it, but maybe he'll crawl out while we're testing things out. So, tweet. Maybe I should be saying nail polish. It was really funny. My friend, what was it? For some reason, she Googled a certain color of nail polish, but she only said polish, and Google said it couldn't translate polish yet. Like, no, Google, not Polish, but it pronounced it like polish. But once she prefaced it with nail polish, the Google search actually worked. Okay, tweet. Jackie Sunburnt, hello. Thank you for joining me. I'm just getting off to a rather rambling start and getting the usual things done, the Twitter and Discord things. And then we're going to get going. And I kind of have a direction, and I have some colors, and I also have like some backup colors. But it's a work in progress. So I have more of a direction than like last week, but I still I'm not quite sure if what I'm envisioning is gonna like work out once I actually start doing it. So better add everyone. Almost forgot to do that. Okay. Alright, Discord is done. Let's get these windows organized. Let's stick you over here. Let's stick you right about there. Let's stick you, right there, I guess. Should be fine. And let's make chat gigantic so that I can see lots of stuff. I feel like I'm forgetting something, but I think it's just because I'm used to things being slightly different when I play Hollow Knight. We'll change that. Wait, change what? Oh, wait a minute. We have no hand cam. Okay. I am like completely oblivious to have just noticed that. Hey, Barbie. Okay. OBS, please work with me here. Switchy. Oh, where? I'm a spaz. I am a certified spaz, you guys. Like, I had my ring light down and in position, and I just, like, assumed everything else was set. And I'm now looking and I'm like, well, shit. The The camera isn't even out here. We're very zoomed in here. Super, super professional streamer here, you guys. Okay. Now let's... I think we want to be a little bit closer than this. This feels like a weird angle. Just a little bit. Luke is here. Hi, Luke. Oh, we'll change my ideas. That's what always seems to happen, but I mean, so far all the changes have been like really awesome changes. This is, oops. Okay. Okay. A flash flood watch on your first cold front is coming through right now. From 90 to 60 in a few hours. It wasn't quite that bad. The downward trend was kind of gradual, Barbie, but last night, it was 44 degrees here. And I haven't watched the news, but I'm guessing, I bet that up north, I bet it got to freezing. There we go. That's much better, right, you guys? Okay, let's, in fact, this is probably what I was thinking I was missing, is keeping the camera window up. So, I still feel like we're a little bit there. And maybe a little bit closer, too. Yeah, last weekend we were in the 90s. It was hot. Last night it was 44 degrees, and I'm sitting here trying to figure out when exactly I can take my window air conditioning unit out, because it's too difficult to winterize, so I just usually take it out. Musical, hello. 93 and then dropped in the 70s and won't hit 70 today. Yeah, I think today the high's in like the mid 60s. It's gorgeous outside. I was kind of sad that I had to come in and stream, because it's one of those days when you can just lay directly in the sunlight and like not feel hot and just like, I don't know. I love that kind of weather. And so does Clark. Clark was not a fan of the rain we had this week. 62, much more your style. Yeah, I mean, 62 is a little chilly, but like mid 60s, properly dressed, get a little cozy sweater. Momo, hello. I should stop. I keep touching my mouth for some reason. I don't know where that habit came from. Okay, so I saw this dress on Instagram, and I'm gonna put a link to it in the chat so you guys can see it if you're interested to see where my like initial starting off point was. And like the stripes on the dress, to me, like something about like the fuzziness of them kind of appealed to me. And I mean, like instantly the first thought in my head was, how can I get that sort of an effect on my nails? I'm sorry, I was just looking for the polished sketchbook, because that's something that we need. So I was like, how can I get that effect kind of here on my nails? And at first I was even thinking like the same colors, but I didn't do my homework last night. I didn't dig out a bunch of colors. So I kind of went with my second option, which was like, you know, the kind of inspired technique, but not the colors. And maybe eventually later, if this technique works out, I will try and find some colors that I could achieve that with, because I think like with the appropriate sponge, I might be able to get kind of a like not solid but yet even stripe of color. We've had this discussion on your name before, and I know that you've told me the proper pronunciation, and I'm gonna go with Dila. And I don't know if that's right, and I'm sorry if it's not, but hello. So yeah, I thought with the appropriate sponge, I could get that kind of piecey, not solid texture. Let's actually, I'm probably going to do this on a, okay, now since we're there, that's better. Instead of trying to move the notebook into the camera, I should just move the camera into the notebook. That makes it much easier. I do think I probably want to go over a black base if I use the colors that I pulled out are actually the Color Club Halo Crushes, the chunkier glitter hollows. And I think if I use them, I want to do it over black. The other colors I have out are kind of more of a olive green theme, although I also did pull out a blue. You can almost see them here. Oh, now this is it's part of my ring light arm. They're laying right here in Beanie's chair. Well, actually, I could probably move them over here, then you can see them. So these here are the more olivey toned ones, and then the blue, and then in here we have the Halo Crush. No, yes, Halo Crush. Halo Chrome might also work, but I think the Dr. Crotron with the 3-month resub. Thank you so much. Hello. Oh. If I ever get my ass around to doing emotes, I need an emote of like a train going off the tracks for you guys to spam every time I get distracted by a sub because I just completely lost my train of thought. But thank you so much, Dr. Crotron. No, not a gradient Barbie. Let me drop this again for anybody that just got here. I'm inspired by this dress I saw on Instagram. And so it's not exactly going to be a gradient, but I'm going to use the sponge to create stripes if this works the way I'm thinking. And I have like a bunch of different kinds of sponges because I don't usually particularly care what kind of a sponge I use. But for this, I think that the texture of the sponge may be super important. We'll see. Let's I don't think I've even tried these before. But they've got I think, yeah, is that about okay, so let's move the sketchbook just for a minute. Like the end of the sponge, it doesn't come to a completely chiseled point. We've got like a little flat area, which I think I could use. See, this is even almost slightly too wide. I suppose I could trim one of the sharper corners. Or do one of these other sponges have different? These are about the same size. These actually come to a point at the corner, but these sponges in particular, I was so mad I could never find these sponges again. They're a very different, let's pull one out here. Like, yeah, I think you can even tell on camera here. So like, this is more like a usual sponge, and it's kind of very, very solid. Let me zoom in on these. And I mean, as I move it around, you can kind of see that the end is kind of just smooth, whereas this one, it's kind of hard to show, but it has more of a spongy texture. You can kind of tell at the end here. You see how it's like it's more of a sponge texture than like this one that's just like clean. The whole sponge is like that. So that one might actually work the best to create that kind of a pattern, that kind of a distressed look. But I don't have very many of these sponges, and I'm pissed off because I was never able to find them again at Target. Well, maybe pissed off is a strong. I mean, it's super minor. Fan brush might work too, but I feel like that would give more of a. Of course, I almost could use it to stipple or to dapple or to, ooh, do I have like a, what about like this? This, actually, see, now this is kind of interesting. This is an old cleanup brush, and I'm just noticing that it's a smaller size than the one I use currently. This is my current cleanup brush. Apparently, I prefer a larger cleanup brush. I don't think I actually wore this one down that much. Plus, it's actually not as wide. Anyway, so the reason this cleanup brush got retired is because, as you can see, it doesn't come to a fine chiseled point anymore. But I could, like, almost use that for stippling and dappling. Let's leave that out, too. What else do I have over here? So, like I said, I have a direction, but I'm not quite sure how I'm going to go about achieving that direction. This is another old cleanup brush. This one's kind of small, too. And then I've got, like, regular brushes and other things. Let's start, and I'm frustrated with myself. Well, okay, so reason there was no Thursday stream is because I was really trying and actually succeeding to be productive, and I got my last 2 Helmers put together. That's also what prompted having to move the bean cam, because there's now a Helmer up right against my desk, and the little clamp was like in the way, so I had to kind of like... Anyway, so I'm moving forward with my organizational process, but at one point, after seeing a video on either Instagram or YouTube, I went out and bought some of those little crescent-shaped flosser things, which you can also use for, actually this does have one flat end, which you can use for creating stripes. Which of these is wider? So this is the more porous one. So it does have one little flat end. I guess they're about, it's maybe slightly narrower. Yeah, slightly perturbed. Well, because it's like there's nothing on the bag that, you know, appears to be different than the regular ones, which I usually get. In fact, do I have... Here, hold on. Maybe because they're professional, but the other ones... See, both of these are like Target brand. Up and Up. These are the foamy ones when they're a different color, and these are the regular ones. Cosmetic wedges, latex free, foam. You know, they don't... I wish Beanie would come out. I just heard him shuffling around in the covers. Let's see if I can get just a little tiny shot of him. Oh, the pole's gonna be in the way. There he is. That little tented area, that's a little bean head in there. Should I leave the camera there? Would you guys like to keep an eye on his little burrito shelter? It is rather a pourable situation. I don't know if that actually expresses what I intended it to express, but it is very Helmers are $40 each, and they're worth it. There are some other comparable drawers, but a lot of them are more expensive. There's probably also some cheaper ones out there. Moon Bandit, what? Are you laughing at the bean burrito? He literally, when I made the bed, he stands up on the back of his chair and he like looks at me, and then he like looks at the bed, and I lift up the covers and he goes in there, and then I just like tent him up around his head. It's quite adorable. We need a lid to get some polish out on. This isn't super clean. We will fix that. We will shove all this stuff out of the way. You guys would never know from this little slice of my desk that you get to see what a disaster the rest of it is. And and he's got his little adorable scarf on. Okay, we have to take a brief time out here. I didn't want to disturb him while he was in there, but I do need to give him his medicine. This will only take a moment. Because he was actually due. We're on like the final, it's so stretched out. It was so chilly we put on Beanie's little scarf. He loves it. He looked right at the camera. Yes, the bean burrito can. I got them at IKEA, Barbie, and they do require assembly. They're actually not too bad, but they do require assembly. I'd say it takes about an hour to assemble one. And, it's pretty easy. I mean, IKEA instructions are usually kind of notorious. Come here, Bean. Time for medicine. Time for medicine. Settle down. IKEA instruction manuals are kind of notorious. Yeah, here we go. There you go. Link it in there. Good boy. But they're really easy to follow. The one part that may be a little bit complicated, like the first time you do it, is folding up the drawers. I think I did fold them backwards the very first time I did it. What a good boy. You know what good boys get. Man, these yummy treats are almost gone, Beanie. See? Yes, you want your little treats? Here we go. Beanie is always very good about taking his medicine because he knows he gets yummy treats when he's done. Usually not quite this many, but this is like a bunch of little small pieces. Because we're at the very bottom of his bag of treats. Yeah, here you go. Good boy. Here, just have those. Yeah, in fact, that was the last little bit of crumbs. Luckily, I have a new bag. And we're almost done with his little eye goo. Yeah, you need me to clean your face? Let me see. But he's been really good about taking it. And his little eye injury is just about healed up. Yeah. I love his little red scarf. He has several. He has a little cream colored scarf. He has a gray one, although I wish it was a different shade of gray. Stelly Bean like Jelly Bean. That's adorable. Yeah, the one thing with ordering from IKEA is, if I recall, the shipping is expensive. Because the IKEA here is not like super close. It's out by the Mall of America. But it was worth it to go and pick them up because the shipping was expensive. You may just want to Google it and make sure, Jackie, that there aren't any around. But I mean, they will ship them. But if I recall, I don't recall the exact price, and maybe I was just being cheap. Could be it's not that bad. The beanie scarf, I know, right, Moon Bandit? And hello, Victoria. Yeah, he's a really cute little boy. Such a boy. Yeah, I'm talking about you. I swear, he looks directly. Just a screwdriver, Barbie. And, well, I should say, I said the drawers were the one complicated thing. The one thing I always do have a little bit of trouble with, but it's actually an optional part, and it doesn't seem to be any detriment to the Helmers, is they have like 4 casters, 4 wheels that you screw onto the bottom. For some reason, out of all the screws, I have a hell of a time getting those like to go in all the way, and I usually think like, man, I wish I had an actual drill, you know, so I wasn't sitting here like with all my little muscles trying to like muscle these screws in. But it really doesn't seem to be a big deal if the screws are a little loose, because once you turn them over, I mean, it's going to sit squarely on the caster anyway. And in most cases, you're not going to be moving them around. Some people may not even install the wheels. Definitely not if you stack them, which you can stack them if you're careful. Yeah, Sunburnt, it was kind of funny because when I got it out, he looked so excited. Like, he hasn't been wearing it all summer because obviously it's been warm. He doesn't really need it. But I got it out and he looked at it like, ooh, and he sits so nice to just, you know, put it over his head. We're hoping, so like this is super easy to make if you want to make your own cat a sweater or a scarf. Go to the thrift store, get a sweater, cut the arm off and cut a tube out of the, you know, the arm part. Just find, you know, the area that's closest to your cat's neck size and decide how wide you want it to be, and you've got yourself a cat scarf. And we're hoping, because, you know, Clark's fur is not very long, we're hoping he'll tolerate a little bit of doggy clothes, because it's going to get pretty chilly here, and he's from Georgia. So we have the remainder of that sweater. And I was like, oh man, we gotta make Clark a little matching vest. Yes, I just explained it, but Luke asked. Make. It wasn't too hard. 7 minutes from your house. It's kind of fun to just go on IKEA and wander around, honestly. Even when I go and I know exactly what I want, I usually wander around. And it's actually a good thing. Because when I bought these Helmers, I actually bought an additional one so I could have 4 matching ones when I saw that the gray is no longer the same shade of gray as my original Helmers. And when I saw them set up on the floor, I also saw that, like, so the original Helmers that I've had for, God, I've probably had them for almost 10 years in some cases. The tracks are kind of on the bottom and they're kind of like setting in there kind of like loosely, and it is kind of dangerous. The new version, the top of the drawer actually has a little track on the top, so it actually slides in there. The whole thing is on a track, and it also has stops that you can put in so you actually can't pull the drawer all the way out. I actually decided not to use those because, like, depending on what you have in there, if you have like sheets of crafting paper or something, you're not going to need to get all the way to the back of the drawer. But for nail polish, I want to be able to get all the way in there. And I mean, having dealt with the older version for so many years, I'm very mindful when pulling the drawer out once I get toward the back, like, hey, you know, don't pull the whole drawer out and spill 100 bottles of nail polish. Because a drawer will fit, depending on the size of the bottle, like even over 100 bottles of nail polish. And hello, Anne. I don't think I said hello. Yeah, I mean, he was a little wary at first. Okay, so for anybody with a cat, this is just a little bit of a sidetrack. I was giving him this stuff, which is an eye ointment. I'd given it to him before in drops, but the ointment is a little trickier because, I mean, it's like the texture of Vaseline. He was not a fan of the metal tip of that coming by his eye. So what I do is I take a little dosage amount and put it on the tip of a, you know, fresh, clean Q-tip, and then just kind of use the Q-tip and get it in there. And he always gets his treats afterwards. Beanie will actually come when I call him for his medicine. So he really is a very good boy. You moan bandit! We are just discovering, I feel like every week we discover a hole in your life experience. We gotta get you to an IKEA. I mean, I don't know. If you like housey, that's not a word, but like that type of stuff, like they have everything set up in little rooms, and then you go in there, you're like, oh, what a cute little room. I could do this in my room. Or, you know, that's the idea. Go to get an extra step sometimes when you haven't been walking a lot at work. That's an excellent idea, Sunbird. And really good people watching in there, too. She would plot your death. I mean, I shouldn't laugh. But I picture like a little meme kitty, just like with the murder plot diagram. Yeah, I kind of do too, Moon Bandit, but I have to be in the mood, and that's why it took me so long to do these. Like, I couldn't get myself in the mood, and but I was like, okay, look, this is a step in the right direction. No, okay. And I'm really like not doing nails yet, but it's okay because that's what always happens. When I very first started, I had 2 Helmers, and then I had 3, and they were next to my desk here. And then I reorganized stuff, and I moved 2 Helmers to the other side of the room. They're kind of like over that away, and they have a bookshelf on top of them. And I was gonna get 3 additional ones for the one that was left because I actually have room for 4 next to my desk. But when I went and I saw that they were different, I decided to get 4 of the new version and give that extra non-matching one to my mom. I wanted them to match. So, yeah, I have 4 Helmers next to my desk and 2 Helmers on the other side of the room. Yeah, it's a kind of a struggle, isn't it, Sunburned? You must know if it's the same stuff that your cat needs. You love all things home related. Yeah, one of the things I love, it's only for a couple more days. I'll have to see if I can squeeze in maybe Monday. They have a parade of homes around here, so you can like go in all the new homes and look around and be like, ooh. And I usually talk a lot of shit because I'm like, okay, who needs a chandelier in the bathroom? Like, I like a nice house, but to me that's just absurd. That's not necessary. Yeah, he had a little scratch like on his actual eyeball, which he's had before, so I was just glad that the injury responded as well this time as it did last time. I probably will... Bob! The Builder with the Twitch Prime subscription! Hello, Bob, and thank you so much! That was like out of the blue. Thank you, Bob. How are you? Oh my goodness. Train again. The derailed train emote will have to be a thing because I was talking about Beanie. Thank you so much for using your Twitch Prime sub on me, Bob. Been cleaning since you got up. Oh. Cleaning is very satisfying when you're done, but cleaning sucks. Cleaning, honestly, sucks. This is the clean area in my room, you guys. The meds, that's the last thing I was going to say. I will probably finish off the tube, even though technically the vet said today could be his last day since it was looking good, because last time he had an eye injury. It appeared to be healed, and I stopped giving him the eye drops, and then it kind of re-flared up again, and I had to take him back to the vet again to get more, or to get something different. I forget exactly, but I want to make sure it's fully healed and that it doesn't just look good. Does that hold all my polish? I'm not sure, Barbie, but probably not. So like right now, can see like here on the bookshelf. On the bookshelf currently has, so 9 on that shelf, probably 6 on that shelf, and 9 on the bottom shelf also. So that's what, 24? Something like that. The bookshelf over here currently has 24 shoe boxes full of polish. And there's 3, 6, 8, 10. There's 10 boxes of shoebox. 10 shoe boxes of polish on the hutch above my desk. And then there's some stuff in front of the bookcase, and there's the shoe boxes that are on the floor next to my desk. So the reason I originally got the Helmers in the first place was the shoe boxes take up so much more space than the Helmers. So I needed to upgrade from 3 to now a total of 6. I don't think it's quite going to hold all of them, though, to be honest. The usual guesstimate range for each Helmer is 500 to 600 bottles of polish. Again, it depends on how many are in there. So like let me actually just, this is actually a good, it's okay, Bean, don't mind me. Can I, okay, I'm gonna just quickly count this because I counted it before and I don't remember the final result. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 or 14. So what's 8 times 14, you guys? Be like 130, 126 or something. So that drawer, I just to free up a couple of shoe boxes. I didn't want to buy any more shoe boxes because I know as soon as I fill the Helmers, I'll have plenty. I kind of wanted to organize my polish first, but I emptied 3 shoe boxes of Colors by Leroux into that single drawer, and the shoe boxes were all almost full, and the drawer still has room in it. 112. That works. I'm really good at math, but not in my head. I need like, not even necessarily a calculator, but I need like paper and pencil. Oh, the personal info has been shredded and the dishes are clean. Now the ball's in the wife's court. You're studying, so you may just be creeping around in the corner today. Hello, Lunar. That's fine. Yes, if you have any, well, if you have math questions, apparently don't ask me. Because I don't know where I got 126 from. But, so yeah, so like one drawer can fit 3-ish shoe boxes. And the other thing with shoe boxes is they're a couple inches taller than most bottles of nail polish. The Helmer drawers are perfect height for most bottles of nail polish. So you've got 6 drawers that can fit, okay, 3 times 6, 18 shoe boxes. So it's really going to condense things and like really help me organize. And I'm going by brand, Barbie. My existing Helmers were originally organized by colors, but then the shoe boxes started being organized by brand. And this is where my ridiculous gigantic swatch project comes in, because the swatches will then be organized by color. This I can like see this all like, you know, beautiful and complete somewhere in the future. I don't know when that will be, but like right now it's frustrating because I don't have all my colors or all my brands in one spot, because my existing Helmers were full. When I say full, like I'm not even joking. So sometimes, unless I remember particularly, I don't know if a color I'm looking for is in a color drawer or is in a brand box, just because of how things evolved as I was short on space. Maybe I actually need water instead of tea. You mustache. Little Bob on the way to work with the wife. Well, thank you for popping in, Bob, and thank you again so much for the Twitch Prime subscription. That's how you do it, Musical? Yeah. I mean, and part of it is also, if I have a particular design in mind, sometimes I'm looking for a color, but oftentimes, and I've talked about this before, like my brain then goes to the other colors that I want in that same brand. And a lot of times when I'm reaching for a particular color, I know, you know, I know exactly what I'm looking for. So it was nice in a way to have them by color, but I think by brand will be a little bit better. Yeah, and then I haven't decided if I'm going to keep them in collections or if I'm going to kind of do them by color, but that's where part 2, anybody that hasn't heard my grand swatching plan, the plan is, you know, nail stick swatches but also glass cabochon swatches for the tops of the bottle. So imagine just pulling out a drawer and it's all these polished cabochons looking back at you instead of just all these identical bottle tops. That's like the supervision. Supervision. You got some looks. You're organizing your swatch sticks right now. Well, and I think swatch sticks too will be so nice because sometimes things look different in the bottle than they do on the nail, for comparison's sake. Even like for layering. So like the swatch sticks that I have the swatch sticks are clear. So if you do like a coat of glitter, which is a topper, you could then sit here and put it over all these other swatch sticks of whatever color to see like what you really want to do. Yeah, I really, and that's one of the things I was like, the other day I was talking about the swatches again, and I'm like, man, I've been talking about this since probably my first stream, which was now months ago. And I'm really not making any progress because I want my collection organized before I start swatching, because I mean that's a freaking huge project, and I don't just want to be like, well, let's just grab a handful of nail polish and get going. Like I want to attempt to keep it organized. See, but Sunburn, my organization, where has it led me? You don't want to know how long I've had these swatch sticks. I have dreams organization is what I have. So let's see here. Let's do some nail polish something, you guys. Let's I like this coppery one and this goldeny one. These are both, this one is a pinker pink. I should clean off this bottle, at least enough so that I can see into it to see the color. This is one of the survivors of the broken bottle incident. And two, another reason that I really like kind of made getting the Helmers up a priority is that I received a really extremely generous gift, and I need to do a haul of it, and I need somewhere to put them when I take them out of their shipping box. I literally haven't even looked at all the polish because I thought it would be cool to do on stream, but it's like, okay, when am I going to do this and how am I going to show this? So what do you guys think of those three together? It's not quite fall, but it's kind of fallish. Wait, on a pants hanger? That you like a wire hanger, or like a specific kind of pants hanger? I'm just thinking like instead of those binder rings, because I'm gonna have a shitload of nail sticks. The organization of those is something I'm still like, because they need to be stored somewhere too. Julia, hello. It's going. I keep getting sidetracked, but it's actually going really well. Yeah, the pants hangers. Yeah, that's kind of how I felt, Sunburn. Well, I mean, I always had a lot. When I first started my blog, I had over 300 bottles of polish. So I was already like a polish hoarder and didn't even know it. And then, oh no, Julie broke a nail. I cringe. Like, I internally, like, I feel it whenever somebody breaks a nail. I completely lost my train of thought again. I'm sorry, you guys. Oh, yeah, so I already had like 300 bottles of polish when I started, and at this point, my spreadsheet is not updated. It's another thing on the list. We'll get there, but I know for a fact I have over 3,000 bottles of polish. So it's a wonderful problem to have. But it's also like, okay, what a freaking project. Nail strengtheners. I don't use a ton of nail strengtheners, but I do always super recommend good cuticle oil. And I use California mango. It smells delicious too. Oh, and a pile in a box in rainbow color order. That's the worst. And then like they don't match anymore. That's why I always end up patching my little breaks if I can. Musica, I haven't one empty, well, it's actually not empty at the moment, but it could be made empty. I have one empty dresser drawer, which happens to be like actually quite close to the desk too. And I'm thinking that may be the home for the swatch sticks. But we'll see. If I can get all of the shoe boxes or most of the shoe boxes off of the hutch over my desk, maybe I could like display them somehow. Like just have like cups of different, I don't know. We'll see. I mean, that's like, I don't need to worry about that yet. That's so far away. You had to fix a garage light. What did you miss? You missed Bob stopped by and subscribed to me, Dr. Crotron. You didn't miss any nail art yet. We keep getting distracted. I keep getting distracted. 1001. That's a nice size collection, Jackie. Definitely good sized enough to get yourself a couple Helmers. And I'm sure I'll still have a couple shoe boxes left, but I think it's okay because I think some of the brands where I don't have a huge amount of, like where they don't really necessarily need a drawer to themselves, I think it would make sense to kind of still keep in a shoebox to themselves. Oh, the mango musical? That's great. I love it. I was using the Simply Pure oil for a while, and I like that one too, but I feel like I used to use the mango before, and I felt like my nails liked that better for whatever reason, and it does have a lot of similar oils, I think. If anybody's curious, and if anybody's not, I'm sorry, it is a special blend of mango seed butter, vitamin E, safflower, aloe vera, sunflower, jojoba, and grapeseed oil to hydrate the nail bed, relieving dry, rough cuticles when used daily. And the one thing the Simply Pure oil, or from Bliss Kiss, anybody doesn't know, did get me hooked on was the little applicator pen. So I actually have some applicator pens. I just need to like load them up with the mango oil, and then I'll have my custom little applicator pens. Yes, I did. Moon Bandit's right. I forgot. I took a beanie medicine break. Yeah, we will be here. I wanted to finish early. I was like, oh, let me just go quickly do my nails so I can go catch the end of the Hollow Knight randomizer race. And that probably won't happen unless the race goes a really long time. It seemed like a super hard seed. I got to see like the first hour of Zephyros run. And it was really difficult. From Sally's, Jackie. And they sell, like, this is, what is this, 4 ounces? I think this is like 4 ounces. They also sell like a smaller, it's smaller than a bottle of nail polish. It's like a little tiny one. But I mean, I use so much of it and I know I like it that I usually just get the large size one. Excuse me. Yeah, I think Amazon has it. In fact, if it probably is also available on Amazon, and I'm 90% sure it's included like below the video player. If you're on PC, there's in one of my sections a link to my nail polish essentials Amazon list. So if it is on Amazon, which it probably is, it should be included on there. Because I tried to like include, cuticle oil and Sesh Beat and Ready for Takeoff and patching things and stuff that I'm really using all the time as a reference point for people. Okay, we're gonna use the more dense sponge. first and just see what happens. I think, like, I don't want to pick up a lot of polish. I want it to be That's almost exactly what I want, you guys. But how do I almost wish it was a little bit narrower. I mean, considering how many of this width would I be able to fit on my nail? Like 1, 2, 3, maybe 6. Of course, I could overlap the colors a little bit. And then see, like, I had a little enough on the sponge that there's really not much left on there. Because that was my other concern. If the sponge is getting dirty, then when I move on to the next color, what's going to happen? Or am I going to have to try to mimic this width and trim off one of these corners? I suppose I also could do that. So let's add a little bit of the, what is this, like a coral copper. And go right, actually let's even overlap it a little bit. That didn't show up as well. I must not have had quite as much. Kinda. I feel like, does this not have as much of the chunky glitter? I didn't pick up as much of the chunky glitter. The chunky glitter definitely is adding to the whole speckled effect for the gold one. I feel like there's just not quite as much of that glitter in the gold one. Or in the, yeah, that one also. See, even like on the residue, like there's not as much. Hey C4, by the way. I don't think I saw your comment. I don't think I said hello. Mobile thing today while enjoying the start of autumn. It is a really lovely start of autumn. I was saying that earlier. It's super nice. Yes, Luke on it. Hell yeah. Yeah, she does. I've been following her for, God, probably one of the first YouTubers that I followed. So back when she was not a she. Oh no. This is a little bit of a problem. Oh god. Oh. Okay. Trick number 1, rubber band. Lid. Rubber band around lid. Lets you get a better grip. Sometimes. Ha ha ha. It worked! I'm all shocked that my hack worked. Shit, yeah, Luke. Luke, best mod. Oh shit. I injured myself, you guys. That's horrible. How can I? There. That little, I ripped my flesh. That's how hard I was unscrewing this goddamn nail polish. Shit. Well, oh well. Nothing to do about it now. It's not like bleeding, so I don't think I need a band-aid. Bonsai wants to sit outside, so that's what you're doing. Now wait, is Bonsai a cat or a dog or an animal of some other persuasion? I also have, okay, this thing here. It's a nutcracker. Like years and years ago for Christmas, I bought my dad a nutcracker, and it came with the second one for free. And it doesn't work on all bottles, but like on China Glaze or something, you can clamp this sucker right onto the lid, and this will like freaking. That was gonna be move number 2 if the rubber band didn't work. Oh man, I'm having such a time keeping up with chat today. Ninja. Hello, Ninja. Meetings on a Saturday? I'm sorry, a case of pickle juice? Why would you do such a thing, Ninja? He's a dog. Okay. I may or may not remember that, C4. You may or may not have told me that before. C4! With the resub. Thank you so much. Mango. Yes. Yes, Julia. Where are we here? Mango magic. Yes, and I'm so behind on chat. Okay, I need to learn how to read super fast. Got another one tomorrow on a Sunday. What is wrong with these people? Yeah, it's very similar to that, Sunburned. One more month, C4, by the way, until you get your upgraded Barney nipple. It's so fun seeing the different sub time emotes, symbol thingy majigs, those purple things in chat, and in 2 more months we'll get the 6-month badge shall be revealed. Moon Bandit. C4 distracted me from seeing that Moon Bandit thinks that pickle juice is life. Moon Bandit. No, Moon. No. The volume capacity. Yeah, how much is in a case? I don't know why you would ever need that much pickle juice. Now you want pickle? You guys. Well, I guess we made it through the first hour without talking about food. But we all knew that couldn't last too long. Yes, badges, Moon. 24 20-ounce bottles. This is 24 ounces, so we'll say this much pickle juice times 20. I don't know what else I have to say at the moment, because my mind is just blown by the fact that you even considered that, because why would you ever need to consider that? But I do know that I'm supposed to be attempting to use this bottle that I made myself bleed to get open. So let's see if this one is more like the gold or more like the we're not quite in camera here. I might need to zoom out a little bit, actually. We'll this is getting kind of, where's my super sharp scissors? Keep them specifically for cutting sponges. Pickle juice grape for athletes? Wait, what? Sparkly, hello. What, pickle juice instead of Gatorade? Oh. More babies. Anybody name their baby after you yet? Okay, so we've got the square side over here. I'm going to attempt to cut off one of these corners so that the end result is a similar width to the corner that we were using. Okay, that's way too wide. That's trickier than I thought it would be. We're going to have to try the other corner. Be more careful. Do gooder. Okay, I'm either gonna be using so this was my first attempt, which turned out way too wide, and this is my second attempt, which also turned out way too wide and also crooked. I'm gonna try and just cut a little bit off of this end. We're still gonna be slightly wider, but that may be actually one of the challenges of if I decide to use this technique for this design, Of course, if I'd gone faster, I probably wouldn't have needed to worry about it because the tip I was using would not have been kind of dried up. So like 2 kind of taps. I feel like the yellow one, of course, there's no reason I couldn't just do yellow, is there? Let's test the other colors. I'm not impressed with how the pink or the coppery orangey actually looks. As far as like how the glitter's popping. Let's try the other colors though. Where are all the soy water marbles? Ninja. Oh, I love that you like completely know the lingo and all the brands and all the good shit. Beanie just let out a snore. That's kind of better. That's very uneven glitter placement. Yeah, that's even visible on camera. I didn't mean to be. Wait, I don't think I was. Jerry coming in here trolling me. Yeah, Bean has on a scarf. Isn't it adorable? Tiki sauce on it. People, man, chat's hype and I love it, and it's hard to keep up with while I'm actually trying to do something. Yes, the Stash King. I was wondering how Jerry was doing. I was wondering if we had a delay due to LSU today, or if stream would be at regular time. Let's try this one more time. That's a better distribution. I wonder if I just got lucky with the gold. I mean, I think it's kind of hard to see, but you guys can kind of see how like that first, what do I want to call it, this sponge stamp, all the glitter was like toward the bottom of the line, and the second one it's slightly better distributed. It's like the pinker of the pinks. Let's also try this blue. That's fine, Luke. Yeah. Luke's such a good mod. I don't even know. I know that stuff's possible. I don't even know how to do that as a mod. Oh, the blue is nice. I like how the blue turned out. See, we get just a little bit of residue, but it's really... Let's also do the silver. A cupcake. Have Gigi instead of Barry. Okay, let's see how the silver goes. Okay, so we got kind of that same, like with the pink, where we got an uneven ridge of glitter at the bottom of the stamp. But other than that, I kind of like it. So the winners are the blue and the gold and the silver. Okay, is this gold or is this yellow? I'm not usually a fan of gold and silver together, but what about silver and yellow? I think we need some more, and we've got the backup colors to test too, and I kind of want to... No, let's continue on this, because I think this is actually doing good things. Oh, we need to test the other sponge too still, you guys. Almost forgot. It's sitting right here. Man with a golden gun. That is a great, awesome glitter. I love that. Okay, like maybe, well, let's just finish this whole top row with them. And we can experiment with things. I really wish I could remember where I put those fucking flossers. Like, where would I put them? Oh, you know? Okay. I got a thought. Hardly a pumpkin outfit. You like mixed metals. Loving the blue. I love the blue too. We lost one. There we go. Well, you know, we were talking because the sweater that was used to make Beanie's scarf, we were talking about making a vest for Clark because he doesn't have much fur, although his fur is getting surprisingly thick. It's like, wow, it's still short, but it's getting like really thick. Oh my god. What is this? Are these the, from the glitch butt? I love the, fucking He-Man emotes, man. I know you got the Skeletor too, Luke. Sea sponges are cool too, C4. You might not have been here, but yeah, I was talking about, so I've got like, this sponge is kind of like a regular type of a sponge, like you normally would have, like most of my sponges are. One time I got these sponges, which are not as dense. And I'm thinking it might give me a better, cool texture. As soon as those dry, I have a place to check for the flossers. Give me just 1 second here. Don't attack me, Beanie. Sometimes he'll like reach out and try to grab me. Like, because I'm walking by his chair. Oh. No, that's probably it. Well, crap. Let me check in here just one more time. Although I looked in here earlier. They're not in. Wait, hold on. Ooh. I wish I could remember. Are they in here? Okay, hold on. Need more organization. I did find this though, which is more of like a, what do I want to say, like kind of like a sponge you do dishes with almost. Can I just, how do I want to do this? Like this. That's kind of uneven and lopsided, but I kind of like. Okay, we'll stick this. Well, I don't want a full cat here, so we'll stick it in that box. I cut off. Okay, that's like super uneven. I was trying to cut off like a little strip, and then I was thinking I could just. I suppose I still could if this actually works out good, because then we just can cut it and have a nice little. And then if we need fresh, we just cut it again. Of course, I suppose I could even do that with this. If this turned out nice. I love the way this sponge feels. I haven't used it enough to be sure, but I think I might prefer this to the other. I mean, just like the squishiness of it. Okay. So, those are just about dry. We can start playing around here a little bit. I missed so much chat. The He-Man Manny somebody did? I did not. She-Ra, hell yeah. And hello, Ribbons. I saw the pooping butt toilet nail art. That's a thing. Let's look at this. Where are you opening? Here. Hell yeah. And it's even got like the rainbows, like those emotes that Luke posted. I was unaware that there was like, well, I mean, I guess I'm not surprised. That's pretty cool. Squish is contemplative. Yeah, I usually like kitchen sponges have a little bit more, I mean like more like a this of a texture, of a density, and it's nothing wrong with it, but I usually prefer like I feel like like a makeup sponge like this gives a smoother texture to the gradient, which I usually prefer. This one though is kind of in the middle. It's like in between like this latex makeup sponge and this sort of a more airy or kitchen sponge. Although I don't think this is a kitchen sponge. I think it's an artist sponge. I think I got it at Michael's. But yeah, I mean, I try not to get super picky because, like I said, I was starting to like catch attitude that I couldn't find these particular sponges anymore. Any sponge will work. Yeah. If I put these together, well, I guess it doesn't really matter because they're going to end up next to each other anyway. So let's start out with silver. And when I'm putting it down, I'm just kind of trying to like make sure that the glitter is not like visibly uneven like as I lay it down there, or of course it'll be visibly uneven when I apply it. Oh, that really left. There's like a particularly big hole there. I think that's maybe a little bit too airy, but we'll do the other colors. Got it going. Might as well. But you don't want too much polish out because you don't want to like pick up so much that it gloms on there. Yeah, I think this is slightly too airy. Let's clean off that extra. Ah. Nobody scolded me. Shock. It actually doesn't look bad. The one with the really big hole, I'm not super a fan of. But I would just need to be mindful of where I was. I mean, you can even kind of see it right there. I would just need to be mindful of what section of the sponge I was using. All right, let's try the middle density sponge. Your fingers are the size of a preteens. You can still do a gradient ribbons. Your hands can't possibly be smaller than my mom's hands, and I've done gradients on her. Yeah, hello kittens. He's super comfy. He's got his winter scarf on. He was even comfier. He was in a little burrito under the bed, or under the blankets, in bed. But he decided to come and get in his chair. Hello. You super cozy? YFM, new to my channel. Oh, thank you. You are certainly welcome. I've always enjoyed like sharing with people. Obviously, that's why I had a blog and that's why I had a YouTube channel. But this, like, it's a whole different thing, and it's fun. I'm glad you could join us. Limited space. Kitty's trying to walk on your pieces. Yeah. It really is, and it's super easy. I mentioned earlier, anybody that wants to stick a scarf on your kitten or cat, full-grown cat. I guess Beanie's like really not a kitten anymore. He's like 6 years old. It's like get a sweater at the thrift store or something, or one that like has a hole in it or you don't like or whatever. Cut the arm off and then find the section of the arm that's closest to your kitty's little neck and cut a little tube off. Super easy. and part of it is like when he stopped wearing a collar, we just like experiment with this for fun, and it was so adorable, and he like likes it. I mean, it's fairly loose. He absolutely could take it off if he didn't like it, but he was so excited when I got it out last night for him. And I think he just likes being cozy. Like, you may have noticed that his blankets are a little bit different. I moved it so that if I didn't have like nail polish and stuff all piled there, so that the one blanket can be pulled over on top of him so he can be burritoed right in his chair without having to be like in the middle of the bed. I'm very hungry. Enjoy your food, C4. I'm getting kind of hungry too already. Okay, so like these really wide ones. And I kind of would like a black also. Like I was thinking like smaller stripes. So I could fit like 2 sets of all 3 colors on there. So, I mean, this sponge would be difficult to cut any thinner than this, I think. Well, I'd have to try, I guess. Or just have that in the middle, like with like black surrounding on either side. Or we go even skinnier, because I think this should be a little skinnier. So let's, oh, is that the, what's this? Let's see. Aw, that's so cute. Super cute. I mean, it inevitably slips out. I used to still call Frisky a kitten sometimes, and she was freaking 22, so it's like calling dogs puppers. Like, Clark is such a big boy now, but he's still my pupper. Oh, by the way, okay, stop everything. I can't believe I forgot to say this. Moon Bandit. Dr. Crotron's emotes are so good. Moon, you did such a good job. Thank you so much. Well, I mean, I know you did it because, I mean, he paid you. But, like, for real, like, we were spamming the hell out of them in stream last night. They are so, like, adorable and appropriate. The Freud crow and the awe crow, and, like, they're beyond good. Feel less bad about pumpkin spice. Yeah, somebody give a shout out to Dr. Crotron's channel if anybody would like to head over there and look at his emotes. I'm assuming they're private. Otherwise, if they're not private, Dr. Crotron, speak up and we'll take a break in the middle of stream right now to go fucking add them on my FFC. Okay, let's try this again. We're gonna use the middle density sponge and try to get like slightly thinner stripies here. Like that. That's pretty good. Get a little bit more and then like envision like, okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, like down here ish. No, Ninja, you're not the best mod. I'm sorry, but Luke has already claimed best mod today. But you can see them, like when you mouse over them, you can see them full size though, Moon. Or do you mean they're even better than that? You have an even better resolution than that? Gold. Hmm. I'm not sure. Actually, well, that's kind of interesting. It looks better on camera than it looks on in person, I think, which is a little bit weird. Where is my let's just do half of each of these so we can see how much top coat's going to change it. See, top coat really isn't changing it a ton. Oh, Dr. Crotron just said I could use them if I want. Where's my... Do I have tab that open? I wasn't joking. I will go turn that shit on right now. Where do I go? No, here. Um, um, um. Yeah, it does, Luke. Is that? No. Come on, Frank Face Z. I can't see them. They're not public. They're not public. They're a secret. I keep meaning, if Jerry's still here, I was thinking that we should add the pup in here for when we're doing animal spam. Oh, there are unlock codes, so that you can keep them private, but then you actually can share them with certain people. I didn't even know that was possible. I mean, if there are a lot of people here that also enjoy your stream, and I think your emotes are just like the shit, and it would advertise you and it would advertise Moon. We can talk about it later, Doc. We can talk about it when I come stalk you in your stream. Oh, the FF. Okay, let's see. So that's that one, and this is the actual. Why's everything going so slow? I guess it's just a hater. Oh well, I'll look at them later. I've got tabs up. I've only got like a bunch of tabs up. I have way more tabs open than I should while I'm streaming. So, those kitties are adorable. They should, well, I don't know. I suppose there are limitations or whatever. FFZ should do such and such. Now, this sponge is a little easier to cut. I wonder if I would have any better luck. Of course, what if I just... Sorry, precision cutting in progress here. Okay, the end of that wasn't that precise. But this is pretty good. Other than my other slice. It's one side. I did a pretty even slice here. And it's fairly thin. Like that thin? Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so now with this, I could have a new end for each color, because I could just slice off slices and they'll stay the same width. It's okay that it's a little thicker over here. That'll just be the end that I grab it by. I want to give a try. Let's do one that's just blue and silver and one that's just blue and gold. And see. So like that, and then we'll do the other one. See, this has much more little breathy, interesting holes than the regular kind of. Alright, so then, what we're going to do is we're just going to snip off that little used part, like that. Then we'll have a clean end again, like that. We'll do the silver one. RPG Pup is public? Or it is public now? I thought I looked before. Alright, so there we have it, just blue and silver. And this one will be... Oh, hello KJ Shadow. Thank you for joining. We are, I've narrowed it down. I'm pretty sure I'm gonna go with this like spongy stripy technique, but I'm not sure if I want to use all three colors or just like two of them. Ooh, oops. I'm not sure. I kind of like all three of them, but I don't think I can... Yeah, if I were to use all three colors, the blue, the silver, and the gold, I would not be able to... Well, if I overlapped them a little bit, I would. Let's cut a couple more. Well, actually, I could probably cut this way. And so I think the key with this, like cutting it evenly, is number one, the super sharp scissors. And number three is kind of like lining it up prior to cutting. How'd that go? Well, that one's much more uneven. Maybe it's easier to cut the shorter end. Because I would like to cut at least a couple... I don't know what to call this thing. Before I start. No, that one's definitely... I mean, like, I don't want to end up with something like that. That's not the plan. Whoa, that just flung like completely over. Okay. This one wasn't bad, but it ended up a little bit wonky right there. Oh, you just made it public. Wait. Okay, hold on, you guys. See, you already trying to spam RPG Pub. That's so true. You know, and actually that dress had kind of the same very textured sort of a stripy thing from what I remember, didn't it? Okay, hold on here. Let's go back here. Let's search for come on here. Very slow, Frankerface Z. Um, I'm waiting. Waiting. Alright, added the emote RPG pup to the channel, Cled MSLP. You may have to refresh for it to show. Oh. And that's a drum roll, if you didn't know. We've added crow emotes also. So, okay, now I definitely need to refresh my chat window to be able to see. Oh, and Frankface is not, or might not Frankface, Streamlabs is not recognizing it yet. Fucking A, Streamlabs. What do I need to do to make you know that this is a thing now? I have no idea what I need to do to make Streamlabs recognize that. So that it shows up on screen. Well, you guys will be able to see them. Let's see if I can see them. I can see them now. Well, I can see them now in my chat window, not on screen. I've heard people talk about like relaunching the chat widget. How do I do that? Is that a thing I can do? If I do this. No, not like that. What if I do that? Okay. Close OBS and restart. Jerry's worst mod of the day. These horrible suggestions from Jerry. Okay, let's see how narrow of a strip. I still have not decided if we're using 2 or 3 colors, but we are doing this. And let's see how thin of a strip I can actually get cut here, and that may determine. Oh, and also these are Frankerface Z emotes that we're talking about here. So if you do not have the Frankerface Z extension installed, I know it'll work, Jerry, but won't it cut my stream off? Oh. I wonder if I could just... Well, I could do... No, I'm not going to worry about it that much. As long as it's properly working in chat. Okay, you don't... Yeah. So, there are 2 extensions that kind of enhance Twitch and are in pretty common usage. One is Frankerface Z, and the other one is called Better Twitch TV. And they both add... Whoa! Well, that's pretty good. Kind of thick. Well, not super even. They add like a extra emotes to a channel. So like, as far as Twitch emotes go, there are the global emotes, and then there are emotes that you get by subscribing to people's channel. But sometimes there are also, like, you can add your own emotes into Frankerface Z beyond the limit that you have on Twitch. And like partners get their number of emote slots based on how many subs they have. Affiliates just get one for each tier. Well, and I only have one period right now because I don't have anything for my tier 2 and 3 yet. I feel like this would be very difficult to trim down also. I'm just like, I'm sorry I'm not on camera, but this is, I mean, I'm intentionally not on camera. This would be too difficult to do on camera. See, I feel like these, once you cut it, like, you have one chance. You can't really, like, trim it down after the fact. Or it just kind of, it's kind of a disaster. Oh, you know what? Okay, let's, a couple of these are not bad. Actually, let's try cutting one more here. And it's like, you gotta make sure your scissors in the right place, like, when you start cutting, or you're kind of screwed. And it smooshes, because it's a sponge. That's not too bad, but part of it is that it's so big, so what if I cut it using up these really good sponges, you guys? Oh, you're on mobile without the extension. Refresh it in the source settings. Add, copy, paste, copy filters. Or wait, you mean in here? In here. Oh, because Crow Gold only got approved at the very end of stream, Luke. Where can I... Refresh cache. Did that work? It made things blank. Somebody spam some emotes. Judiciously spam. Judicious? So like when I'm cutting the sponge and like through this, and you're cutting like all this, like it smushes the whole thing. That's really much wider than I actually need for my nail, so I'm wondering if I'd have an easier time cutting it if I cut it the other direction first and made it a little more narrow. Well, shit, it fucking still didn't work. And, well, wait, I don't think I refreshed my page since then. Okay, refresh again. I was gonna say, I wasn't seeing the crow emotes. Okay, enough messing around with emotes. Let's, I don't want to cut off too much of this, because I still want it to be fairly, like, wide. I don't want it to be smaller than my finger width. See, that was a really nice, even slice. But this is thicker than I want. It's easier to cut a thicker... There's a magic area, we'll say. Too thick and it's hard, too thin and it's hard. But just right is just right. So, alright, let's try it like this. What I'm doing is like lining up the scissor like evenly at the edge of the sponge on both sides before I'm actually like cutting with the scissors, if that makes sense. And then cutting it in just one snip, because if you don't do it in one snip, then this part gets jaggedy. So this one was actually like a little bit thick, but not bad. Let's do another one here. See if I can get a nice thin strippy of spongy. Okay. Do one more here. And then we're gonna do a manicure. Actually, I might take a bathroom break first. That's probably always a good idea before I start doing nails. So let's see which of these are the nicest. So this is all like that will all go trash. then we're going to have to actually decide which. So I cut it into like, let's actually move this out of the way. Oh, I still have to decide. So instead of being this wide, I cut it to this wide. Is that? Yeah. So I cut off like, I don't know, a 1/4 inch. And then I cut a bunch of, well, these are like 2 sponges now. I lost track of which are which. So which of these are most even? I want to get like several that are similar width. Just to have on hand when I start doing my nails, in case I need to switch between them. And I still feel like a lot of these are very uneven. This one's too lopsided. This one is a little bit too thick. This one is really nice, but I think it's too thick. Unless... So my decisions before I move on to the actual manicure are 2 colors or 3 colors, and 2 sets of the color or 1 set of the color. Like, like I was saying, with this width, I would only be able to fit like 1 of each color on there. Like with this width, it would be tight with 3, but with 2 it would definitely be doable to have 2 like rows. But if I did 3 with a slightly wider width, I could just put that in like the middle of my nail. And in fact, that might even be better, because certain nails like my pinky are going to be shorter regardless. I have a little divot out here. I wonder what I did. Kind of hard to show. I'd need to mess with the focus. Okay, distracted. I'm still not. Did that fully update? It said it updated. Well, you guys are seeing them. I'm still not seeing them. Well, I added them for you guys, so as long as you guys are seeing them and enjoying them, I guess I should. Let me try restarting one more time. Or not restarting. Just refreshing my chat window. Well, the one I'm looking at, not the one on screen. Hopefully that one works itself out. What do you guys think? Do you guys like the blue, silver, and gold all together, or do you have a preference between the ones that are only 2 colors? I kind of like them all together. That way too, I could just have, that would solve my having silver and gold next to each other problem, because I would just have blue in the middle, and then the gold would be next to the blue, and the silver would be next to the blue, and they wouldn't be next to each other. 4 isn't an option. Or do you mean, what would it be? No, 1, 2, 3, 4. Is that what you mean, Ninja? You like them all together. You're not enjoying them because you have old people technology. Oh, the emotes. I was like, wait a minute. Junior high flashbacks. Are they your school colors, Sunburnt? And Moonlight's the third one, which is this one, which is also all together. So it would be kind of like in this pattern, but more in this width and this texture, because this is that one that I did with the very holy kitchen sponge. That's why we've got like this big. Okay, let's go with all 3 colors. Let's go with a moderate width. I could use this. Like since I'm using just 3 colors, I don't have to be, I think, as worried about the width. I still don't want it to be. Actually, these are pretty. So I'm just comparing the different cuts that I have to see which ones are similar, and these 2 are pretty good. This one here, I think that one's a little bit fat. This one's also a little bit fat. This one's actually a little bit skinny. This one is very, well, So that could be an emergency one. This would probably be the other. Okay, so we've got our first choice, our second choice, and our third choice. And this, see, this edge is a little thicker. Okay, it's not gonna be flawless. I'd need like a skill saw to cut the sponge perfectly evenly. Settling for Ninja. The box salt. Oh, well, have a good trip to the grocery store, Luke. Don't buy too much that's not on your list. Or do, if that's your thing. It's usually my thing. It's like, if I go to the grocery store and only get what's on the list, I don't feel like a sense of success like I should. I feel like, man, what did I not get? Actually, I just thought of something, and we're like hours into the stream. Yeah, this has been on. Does that sound better? Is that even noticeable? I meant to turn that off at the beginning of stream. Yeah, it's it's partly the application, and it's partly just the polish itself. Like here on the lid I was using, you can kind of see like some of the leftover glitter, and it helps with the making it more of a textured, flaky thing happening. All artists are nail artists here. No, a lot of us are, but not everybody. Unless some of my guys are keeping secrets from me. We are a collection of nail artists and people that just like nail art, and people from the Porch Twitch community, which started on RPG Jerry's channel. Jerry, you don't give yourself enough credit. You probably would be great. You can't do nail art, just like you can't radiant any bosses in Hollow Knight, right? Dang it, this is... Okay. Okay, I'm going to take a very short... Gosh, we have been going for 2 hours. I probably should get a different clean lid for stream. Actually, I think I might have some actual brand new fresh lids downstairs. So I'm going to take a quick break. Well, let's leave this here. That's very nice. A nail art enthusiast and a visual learner. That is the correct answer, kittens. I'm sure Jerry would too, because he comes off all tough, but he's a sweet guy. Just don't tell nobody. Let me get you guys some music. Music. Where are you? Everybody's favorite song. And let's just get a BRB here. The time is 3:56. I will endeavor to return by 4:05. Why are you not letting me? There we go. Centered, please. All right. You're a French fry artist. Moon Bandit is an actual damn artist. Moon Bandit is an emote artist, and a good one. A big polish stash. We were just talking about polish stashes earlier, because I'm reorganizing mine. Of course it does. Yeah. All right. Yeah, not gonna get sidetracked. I'm gonna go. I'll be back. Refill my water while I'm at it, and then we're gonna do nails. Actually do nails. Where are we here? Is this still... No. These dry pretty fast. Well, okay. I'll talk about it later. I'll be right back. Beanie has abandoned us. He may be back. We'll see. I almost thought that he might stay, because he was still sitting, and he like looked at me. I was like, just stay, Beanie. He was like, no, where are you going? So let's and sorry, because I know this makes everything jiggle around a shit ton, but all right, there. Whoa, hello. You are not snug. Let's there. That's better. Where was this here? Shit, I lost track of which was the other good one. So I have to decide though. I haven't really decided. Ooh, you get barbecue tonight. Yum. Yeah, getting, what I want to say. Socializing dogs and cats together can be tricky. When we first got Beanie, we were very nervous because dude had grown up with Frisky, of course. She was already an old lady when he was a puppy. And she ruled things. So he never messed with her, but he was not a very sociable dog. He didn't, he would see neighbor cats in the window and everything, and he was not having it. But when we brought home Beanie, and what we did was it was a shedding season, so we had a little small basket of dude's fur that went next to Beanie's food, and we had a blanket that had been in the cat carrier that we put on dude's chair, so they got used to each other's smells. And when they met each other, it was like so anticlimactic. We were like so worried, and they were homies. Beanie and Clark, it's a work in progress. They love each other, but sometimes Clark is a little bit too much of a... I forgot we were even going to try these, you guys. I'm like so forgetful. AKA dumb. We better try this. We better just try this. Oh, and I forgot to... Oh, well. I was going to get a fresh lid while I was downstairs, and I completely forgot. We're going to use one of my old frayed cleanup brushes. Let's just get that out there. My little markers are coming off. That's unfortunate. I had that on top of this bottle of liquid leather so that I'd know it was the good bottle, the one coat bottle. Maybe I need to, I'll figure something out before I put it away. Okay, we've got, these can go back over here. They can go in this box, actually, to stay out of the way. I'm just letting this black dry a little bit before I try this. I mean, it's not quite like a dry brush technique, but I guess that would probably be the closest. So many dirty lids. Well, this one's not too bad. We shall clean it off. And I do not have any acetone in there. Yeah, I think it really depends too, like how they grew up. Like that's actually one of the main reasons why we got a puppy instead of a like a couple years old dog, because there's dogs of all ages available to adopt, but I thought it would be easier to get a puppy used to a kitten than a dog where you don't know what's gone on in their life or what experiences they've had with a cat that may influence their behavior. Just cleaning off this lid while I wait for this black to dry just a bit more. Then we'll do this quick test. I kind of don't think it's going to give me the look that I want, but I mean, nail polish stuff surprises me all the time, so I could be wrong. Aw, I hope he feels better soon, Momo. That always sucks. I mean, I don't have any kids, but like I have Beanie. I know that's not the same, but I mean, like having to give him his medicine like I did earlier, I can only imagine like freaking an actual child. So what if we just... And what I'm using here is my old cleanup brush that's just kind of frayed and rough at the end instead of being like a pointy chisel at the end. It doesn't look bad, but it doesn't give that same textured look as the sponge does, really. Let's do a little bit of the gold. Like it's an imperfect sort of a thing, but it's not, I don't think it's quite what I'm really looking for though. This can be put away. These can, well, those maybe should stay out. Let's just try the silver too. Oh, there we go. Sorry. And the camera's struggling a little bit with this black background. Also, I'll do a little close up in just a second. Yeah, I like the sponge better. This actually would be an option, but I like the sponge better. I don't dislike that, especially like, can I? There, you can see a little better. So weird. Freaking cameras. Freaking white balance. Too many dirty lids. Well, it's like, I don't know. They're not hard to clean off. They're not. I'm lazy about certain things. Okay, so what did we decide here? We decided that this was the one we were going to probably start with. Or do I want to start with this one? These are about the same width. Very similar. This one's a little bit... It's thick on that end. This is the one I said would be an emergency one, I think. And then this one was, yeah. This one was like our third choice. See, this side is actually like pretty thick though. I think actually I'm going to use those two and then save that big wedge one. Which of these has the most similar? I mean, both of these ends are... Huh? That's pretty close. This side is a little bit thicker. So I need to be mindful of that. I need to kind of lean toward the thinner end. This is the Caters with the 3 months and the Twitch Prime and the making me lose my mind and the making me smile. Thank you, Caters, so much. I need to, and that also reminds me, because I was messing with this, I need to go back where I can see things in Streamlabs in case I had missed that. Streamlabs, you are a goddamn lie. There we go. Thank you so much, Caters, for spending your Twitch Prime sub here. What else do you say? I have other stream. Well, I've seen other streamers. I don't need to ask others. Ninja has committed to continue their blah blah blah. That what it said in the. Well, no, it's wait. There, what it said there, which I'm like so proud of myself that I figured that shit out. I was like, how do I do this? I had to like Google and things. Thank you so much. Moon! We got a sub train. Well, I guess it doesn't count as a sub until the expiration. Oh, we got Bean back. The subscriptions have summoned Beanie. Oops, I almost went to move my cam. Hi there, handsome. With your handsome little red scarf. Yeah, he's such a good boy. Thank you so much, Moon Bandit. Don't die of the cute overload, Ninja. Thank you guys all so much. Anybody that doesn't know, there is a September command. September is a promotion Twitch is doing that allows gift sub recipients to extend their gift sub for just $1, and the streamer still gets the full value of the sub. So it's a really good deal, because usually it's, well, if you have Prime, it's free. If you are a paying subscriber, it's $5, and the streamer gets about half of that. Aw. So you did one too. Wait a minute. Now that I actually have my Streamlabs back up, I do see that. Thank you for your subscription, Sunburned. I should be better about that. Some people do that intentionally, if they don't want recognition, but I don't know. I feel like the very, very least I can do is say a direct personal thank you to anybody that thinks I'm worth subscribing to. Thank you, Sunburnt, also. Even though oh wait, can I, oh wait, okay, look at the professional streamer here. Thank you, Sunburnt. Okay, we're going to adjust the camera because we're going to be back down here. We're going to be right here. We're going to need to make sure that this other camera is also pointing at the right thing, because we've got lots of cameras here. And for any new people, I think we have a couple new people if they're still here. Lately, well, more than just lately, since this has been working so well, what I've been doing is, first half of the stream is usually experimentation, playing with stuff, and then the second half of the stream, I actually record the YouTube tutorial live during stream. So you get to see all the stuff that gets edited out of the tutorial usually. And, I mean, sometimes it goes smoothly. I don't want to act like, the tutorial is a complete fake out of, shit's way harder than I make it look. But sometimes there are, some weird behind the scenes moments. It's a lot of Googling for me, Sunburned. And still, I mean, earlier when I was trying to figure out, well, I never really did figure out why the on-screen chat is not showing the new Frankerface Z emotes that I added. But I feel moderately comfortable, I would say, with Streamlabs. And Streamlabs is the thing that makes the sub alerts pop up, and it also does the little chat window and bit donations and stuff, and it has a dashboard, and on the dashboard, I'm just proud of myself for remembering that there is a button to re-pop up notifications. It does. It really, I mean, there's a fine line between being overconfident and being optimistic and being pessimistic and just being unnecessarily down on yourself. And I try to find a happy medium and all that, but I'm legit so flattered, you guys, when you find it worthwhile to keep coming back, number one, to hang out with my goofy self, and to, resubscribe and bits and things and all the everything. Sometimes it's just me. I don't feel like I did a very good eyelash flutter there, but just imagine the movie starletest eye flutter. You get annoyed and have to go back later. Sometimes that happens to me too. The thing is, a lot of times I'll learn something and I'll figure out how to do it by Googling, but I don't really learn it and I don't really retain it. I don't want that to get acetone yet. So, like, a good example is on my blog, there are tags for the different posts, and usually the tags display in a list, and I had a crap load of tags. I was like, well, this is an unnecessarily long list. I've seen in other blogs where people add it as a drop down, so you hit the arrow and then you see the list. Let me figure out how to do that, and I did, and it wasn't super hard. But if I needed to do that again, I'd have to look it up again and learn it all over again, because it was like mumble years ago, damn near 10 years ago. But stuff like that, it's like once I do it and I don't need to redo it, I don't always retain it. We're just getting our nails. You guys have a share of my nails. Nice and clean before I get started. I like to swipe them down with a little bit of acetone. Just make sure that any sort of residue, literally, like even soap residue from when you wash your hands, I feel like can affect how your manicure wears, whether you're using, particularly with peel-off base coat, but also even with just regular base coat. That just made me think. I did my friend's nails for her birthday, and I wonder how they're still looking. She's kind of notoriously rough on her hands. And I offered her a gel manicure, but she said no, because she knows herself well enough to know that she would not properly remove the gel. And I yelled at her so bad. Not really. Last time she was over here biting off her gel manicure. Oh my God. I was like, okay, stop this instant. We were sitting outside in the backyard. I was like, come inside right now. I'm going to get the acetone. I'm going to get the clips. I'm going to get a file. We're going to fucking soak off this gel properly before you just I was cringing and I told her, I was like, if you're going to do that, you literally cannot do that in front of me. I will not allow it. Oh, C4. Thank you. I love you guys too. It's, it's a different kind of love, but it's love. It's, this is a little community, and I love my little community. Jackie too, and Musical. You guys are the sweetest. You really are. Until you get the info you want. Yeah. Well, that too. Press buttons till it works is one of my go-tos. Yeah, once it peels, it is, even I can admit that it's hard to resist once it starts to peel. Yeah, that's a good one. And even just getting in there with the nail brush, and even as you're rinsing, continuing to go at it a little bit with the nail brush. If I will confess, when I'm using just regular base coat, sometimes I am a little bit lazier about fully cleaning off my nails, but especially with the peel off base, the struggles of peel off. Once a week, I'm like, man, I'm never using peel off base coat again. And then I'm like, oh, but I love my peelies. Yeah, rubbing alcohol is also a good alternative, because it doesn't leave I feel like even like my purple polish remover, it's supposedly, can you read that? It's kind of small. Strengthening. Well, so what is in there that's making it strengthening? I feel like that could very easily leave a residue. Aside from, it's just not as powerful as pure acetone. Have the whole gel system and have been afraid to try for that reason. Yeah, gel, I have mixed feelings. If you want to wear a long, your manicure for a long time and have really good wear, gel is great for that, but you have to be prepared to take it off properly. And when I did wear a full gel manicure, if I'm just using gel for a pigment or something, I'm almost 100% going to use a peel off base and it's not an issue. But when I did wear a full gel manicure when I was on vacation for 2 weeks, I did like, I want to say 2 or 3 test runs and then the actual manicure that I wore on vacation, and didn't notice any damage to my nails. But I was really careful when I was removing it. You know, they recommend you like file the top to break the gel seal, but you got to really be careful not to, you know, that you're filing only the polish. You're not, you know, filing your nail. You want to, I mean, file off as much as the polish as possible, because then that's less to soak off, but be very careful not to like get to your nail. And then I've got, do I have a couple out? I don't think, wait, is this one? Yeah. You can use foil, like old school foil method for glitter. I've also got these little buddies, which will hold the cotton on there. And just, I mean, soak them. Do them while you're doing something else. And then I was actually really, it was interesting because the one that I did as a full, I've got a hair on my lip. It's probably beanies. A full gel manicure. I think I used the pink shellac, and I don't know what brand my friend's was, but after soaking, it like, with the orange stick, it came off in the most satisfying manner. Like you kind of encouraged it along with an orange stick, and it was like, have you seen like that that roll up ice cream? Like they make a thin thing of ice cream and then they like roll it up. The polish was doing that with the orange stick. I was having a great time. Uh-oh, ghost sunburnt. That's my guess. Yeah, I think and I think the acetone works kind of like that too. Maybe not quite as drastically, but it does, I mean, dry out your nails a little bit. But I don't feel like it does it detrimentally, if that makes sense. Like, you know, not to the point of brittleness, like, well, it's kind of hard to show, but like my nails are still flexible. They're not like, because if your nails get too hard, that's always the thing. Too hard is brittle. You want your nails to be strong but still flexible so that they can, you know, deal with a little bit without just breaking off corners and stuff all over the place. Oh, and you're allergic. Yeah, that's my friend's problem too. She's like, but you can see where it's grown out. I'm like, well, you can see that, but just keep in mind, most people aren't going to notice that. I always feel like as long as you've still got, you know, a clean shape, that it's, you know, most casual people are not going to notice that it's grown out too much, but it definitely can bother you, which, I mean, you are the important one. If nobody has told you today, ting, put that on a t-shirt. Non-acetone, yeah, to keep it the, yeah, vitamin E. I have a non-acetone around here somewhere. I was, like when if and when I used normal, oh, there it is right there. Normal polish, like if I have any patches on, which right now I've still got a reinforcement on this nail because I bent this nail and it didn't break, but it left like a crease mark. I've got a reinforcement on this nail because this corner was just peeling and peeling. And I've got a reinforcement here, which almost could use to be redone. I've got a very tiny crack in the side of this nail that I'm trying to prevent from getting worse. Yeah, that was kind of off on a tangent, but that's what happens. Yes, even for regular polish. I agree, Anne. Well, because it's like, I feel like if you're just like rubbing, you know, it's like unnecessary stress on your nails. Like it's not, I mean, hopefully you're not being too rough, but it's so much nicer to just like set it on there for a while and then just with one swipe, just swoop and have it be nice. Even with the sticky base. Yeah, you know, I really miss, you know, if my favorite base coat had not been discontinued, I kind of wonder if I ever would have gone to peel off, because I was never happy, really 100% happy with any base coat after that. So I guess the fact that the peel off almost always pisses me off in that sort of way is not an issue, because the other base coats piss me off too. I don't know. One day I'm sure I'll give up peel off, because it'll just, It'll cross me one too many times. Okay. Nail Life Gripper from Sally's. And Nail Life still makes like nail polish stuff, and their ridge filler is still there. And there's another base that's like from a brand that sounds almost the same and it looks almost the same, but it's not the same. Okay, let's adjust that just a little bit. All right, let's whoa. Why is this so loose? Okay. Sorry, adjusting. Oops. Adjusting the tutorial camera. I need to get another holder for this. I never have been completely happy with this one. There. Okay. Maybe a little bit closer. Yeah, that too. Just like not everybody's a fan of Seche Vide or has more problems with shrinkage. I think it's the same with base coats, that different people are going to have different favorites. Also, before we get started, it's kind of a little bit hard to see. Those dots from the rhinestones are almost growing out to my free edge now. They're kind of hard to see. They're like right there. Can kind of catch them at the different angles. They're like right below where my free edge starts. But they're not only growing out, I think they're much less noticeable than they initially were. I mean, they were looking like little bullseyes when that staining first happens. All right, let's do top coat. Starting out with clean, dry nails, I'm going to begin with the base coat. Today I'm using Ready for Takeoff, which is a peel-off base, and you can use whichever is your personal favorite. And I've mentioned before, but some things I try to always remember to mention. Like with the peel-off base in particular, I try not to go all the way to the edge of my nails, because what I really want to do is by the time I get to the top coat, I want to seal the peel off completely in. I want to seal it at the sides of my nails and the cuticles and even around the tips as I wrap the sides and the tips. Because if you don't, any little spot where there can get in water or, even lotion, any little spot like that is going to possibly lead to unexpected peely failure, which is one of the most frustrating things. And oh my god, I will confess, because you guys will probably get it, at least some of you. I think I get madder now if I unexpectedly lose a peely and actually lose it, can't find it, than I do when I break a nail. Breaking a nail used to be the most frustrating thing on the planet. And now I'm pretty good at doing nail repairs. So breaking a nail has gone from being a day wrecker to just a moderate inconvenience. And losing a peely is you've lost something irreplaceable. Even though it's an absurd little thing. I mean, it's completely unimportant in the grand scheme of anything. But I think it's just that it's when you see something limited edition and you don't want it until you hear that the limited edition is sold out and it's no longer available again ever. And you're like, oh, wait, maybe I did want that. It's just FOMO. Fear of missing out, or actually missing out. Even if you're missing out on something that you don't care about, you're missing out. And you kind of get that little feeling. All right. Base coat is done. Quite on the set. Quite serious here. Yeah, nail revitalizer base. I should try that. I actually still have like an old hoarded bottle of the gripper, because like around the time they discontinued it was around the time that I started doing the peel off, and I have some of their ridge filler too. But I don't think I've tried the revitalizer. Wait, Moon, you haven't got it? Oh, is there a sale? Moon Bandit. Look it. Look it. Moon Bandit, I'm so lonely. I need you to take me home and be my friend. Please, Moon Bandit. I'm sorry. I shouldn't taunt you. You should do it though. You should all your emote commission money, Moon, should go to nail polish. I mean I can't tell anybody not to buy nail polish unless they're like, nail polish or rent, nail polish or groceries. You know, if it's nail polish or French fries, you could probably find something other than French fries, Moon. Except no, I looked on the website and I swear the website calls it the summer collection, which I have to call BS on. These are not summer colors in the collection. They are 100% fall colors. Aw, no more tea. Let this dry just a little bit more. Sometimes I feel like I rush it, and I feel like I do get better wear when I let it dry like very thoroughly. Yeah, and if you go to Sally's now to see if the finger paints collection tempts you, the China Glaze Painted Black collection can also tempt you, which also has some sparkly, awesome things in it and some holographic, pretty things, and what looks to be a pretty nice black matte also, which I've mixed feelings on matte polish because there are so many good matte top coats out there, but sometimes you do actually want like a matte polish, and sometimes a polish that's matte gets more matte than a matte top coat over a regular polish of that same color. And sometimes, oh, I wonder what I did with that. I had a little piece of paper when I did my friend's nails. It was just a plain manicure, but she wanted the same color as was on her toes except matte. So I did a little tiny small swatch and tested matte top coat just over the polish versus matte top coat over the polish with top coat, with glossy top coat, and that was brought out much more of the color. I was thinking that it might affect the finish because not all polishes dry with a real smooth finish, and the matte top coat definitely does not level the same way Sèche Vite does, but I was kind of surprised at the difference in color that it really made. 31 bottles. That's so me, Sunburn. Because you just go through, you're like, ooh, 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 ooh. Add to cart, add to cart, add to cart. And then you go view cart, and it's like, your total is $274. And you're like, I better rein myself in a little bit. The China Glaze Painted Black, I would call it a Halloween collection. There's like a black with orange glitter, a dark gray hollow, a black matte, what looks like a really vampy dark olive green, and a black with some chunky silver hollow, I think. I can't quite remember. There is a post on their Instagram page that has slides of each one, and there's like a splash of all the collection too. I kind of want them. I don't really know if I need them, but I kind of want them, and I was aware that China Glaze has a sale. Plus, when I ordered the finger paints, it came with a 20% off thing inside the package, so I got like a 20% off coupon to use, plus buy one get one half off. I kind of might need to Get the China Glaze collection. Yeah. I like that kind of a subtle look sunburn. I once several, 5, 6, 7, I don't know. I did a glossy black and matte black water marble. Was really like, I feel like I'm not making a very good okay sign. It's supposed to be like, I think I have trouble with those kind of things because you want your fingers to touch, but my fingers don't want to touch the way most people's would because my nails are long. We'll just stick with thumbs up. It was really cool. It was made me a little bit anxious because I love that top coat moment, but when you're working with two different textures, you can't really do that. 12 bottles from Zoya because they're 50. Well, that's a deal. You can't pass up a deal, Anne. I kind of had the same thing. I was looking at funding a Kickstarter for this artist that I really like. Her name's Elspeth McLean. And she's doing a coffee table book. And she was doing a Kickstarter to fund it. And where I thought I still had that up somewhere. Where is the campaign? Yeah, I think let's just drop this in here. And there was an early bird special where you could get a discount. And I was looking, I was like, this is, it's not a huge ton amount of money, but it's enough money that I can't just drop this money with no thought. And I was like, but if I wait too long, then this early bird special is going to be gone, and then I'm still going to do it, and then I'm not going to get the deal, and I'm going to spend more money that I could have saved if I'd have just made up my mind in the first place. So if it was something that you would have bought at some point anyway, Anne, then you got to buy it while it's on sale because you got to save money. That's my take on that. I've never heard of that musical. That's interesting. I don't wear matte very often. I like the look of it. I'm a little bit not anxious. That's not the word. I prefer a glossy, like when I touch my nails. I don't want to touch them now because, base coat. I like them to be smooth and glossy instead of matte. Yeah, I liked the whole collection. It feels not unique, but it feels like a slightly different twist on a lot of them. Anyway, I did end up getting the early bird special on the Kickstarter, and I was really pleased to see the support for her book. She's a really awesome artist. She does painted mandala stones and little mini canvases, and I actually own one of her stones. Not one of her stones, one of her small canvases. And I'd love to do a manicure inspired by it one day. And she met her goal within, crap. What color is this? These both have their label. Okay, hold on just a second. Yeah, she met her goal within 24 hours, so the book is definitely going to go to print, and I get to have a signed copy of it. Okay, hold on. I think I probably could have just Googled this equally as fast, but I knew I had it noted on here. Yeah, this one's messy. They're both messy. They're just gonna have to be messy. Peace out. Okay, let us continue the tutorial. There. Off to feed your people. Thanks for hanging out, Jackie. Have a good day. colors that I'll be using for the stripes are from Color Club's Halo Crush collection. The blue is Peace Out. The silver is Break It Up. And the gold is Smashing Review. And for my base color, I'm going to be using China Glaze Liquid Leather. Alright, and this is the nice new bottle of liquid leather that is damn near one coat, and it's so nice. Yeah, actually, no damn near about it. One coat. So nice. One coat black, y'all. And I'm trying to, keep it neat because black sucks to clean up. But, like, literally as I said that, that flooded into my cuticle. So much for that. So much for being neat. I tried. I mean, I guess I'm still trying. I didn't, like, give up. It's just the more pigmented any polish is, the worse cleanup is going to be, because it just, like, leaves that kind of residue behind. I always find. What is this little bubble here? Blacks. Oh, it's a cat hair. What the fuck? Did I get it? I lost my train of thought trying to deal with that little hair there. I still don't think I got it. Oh well, we're just gonna have to hope that the stripes and the top coat cover up that boo-boo. Or I could add a second coat, but that may or may not actually fix the problem. I still love you, Beanie, even though your cat hair is fucking up my manicure. Okay. Yeah. Just, I mean, you can see it in the reflection. I don't know that you guys can actually see the hair, but you can see how that's not nice and smooth like all the other nails. Yeah, exactly, Musical. I've had one that was nearly transparent. I recall using it in a water marble and being like, that's fucking not black. And that's why I was trying to keep track of this bottle, because it's not just because it's new and full, but because it is, really opaque in one coat. I should probably remark the top before I forget about it, but I'm going to try and wait until after stream. If next week I'm complaining about, shit, I don't know where my good bottle of China Glaze liquid leather went, well, you guys know that I did not remember to mark it. Did I remember to? Yeah. For a minute, I thought I was still recording on the other camera, using up valuable memory card space. Actually, it might also have been a Q-tip fuzz from when I cleaned my nails. So I maybe should not be so quick to blame Beanie. Might not have been his fault at all. Might have been my own silly fault. Now, you could do cleanup after your base color, like around the edges and cuticle, but I anticipate possibly getting some of the glitter on the sides, so I'm just gonna wait, I think. Or should I? Well, no, I'm gonna wait. I'm going to wait. No, I'm gonna clean up because you know why? Because I want to let this dry a bit before I move into the glitter stripes. So yeah, we'll just, I mean, and just little things, just cleaning up that cuticle line and that side. The sides I'm almost worse at than the cuticle because I feel like I have high, chubby sidewalls. Some people you see and it's like their nail almost is like, the sidewall next to it is almost like flat. I feel like mine are definitely not. They like stick up and get in the way frequently. And with cleanup, I mean, what kind of brush you use is kind of up to you. We were just comparing earlier my old cleanup brush to my new one and how much bigger my new one is. The main thing I think is you want the bristles to have a little bit of stiffness to them so that they can stand up to what you're using them for. Not like completely hard, because I think that would be difficult too, but just like a good amount of stiffness. And a little bit of stiffness also helps them to keep their shape and keep, like I was saying, the other one got retired because it was too bushy, so you wouldn't be able to get in real close to the cuticle and clean up neatly. Yeah, well, and sometimes too, I feel like, I don't know, like stuff that's one coat is not always one coat because it's like a super good formula, because it's like kind of thick and weird. The China Glaze is a very good consistency. I've always heard very good things about Cirque Colors Black also, but that's kind of a more expensive brand. Wet n Wild's Black is actually pretty good in my experience. If you're looking for a super cheap one. Yeah, I feel like I've had a couple bottles of the Sinful Black too, and I feel like I've had a one coat bottle of that. I don't know if I currently have a one coat bottle of that. Black, I probably use black more than anything else of all colors, because I feel like I've had multiple blacks from most of my brands. Oh, sorry. Foibles. I love that word. Lots of good words that you like don't have opportunity to use very often. But that's like perfect in this situation. Okay. Yeah, I mean, I wonder too, like when polishes are obviously make changes. I mean, it's kind of, one or two coat black is kind of just like when there are inconsistencies in the colors. Just with the black, it's not, as noticeable in the color itself, but more in the formula and the coats. But yeah, it's like, is this bad quality control? Is this another plant? Is this an intended change? You never really know. I had somebody tell me the other day, I mean, one of the most notorious ones for, switching formulas is OPI, My Private Jet. I had somebody tell me that the Infinite Shine formula version of My Private Jet is hollow like the original. And I don't know that I actually have any of their Infinite Shines. But if that's true, that's kind of good to hear, because I mean, that was such a good polish, and it's so inaccessible. I actually have a bottle, and I remember like finding it and trying not to like freak out so that they didn't like realize what they have and try to jack up their price. It was at a nail salon in a mall, and I was just like walking by, and they had like these racks of polish that were right next to the window, and I was just like looking, and I was like, "Is that?" And I went there. I was like, "You guys sell polish?" They were like, "Oh yeah." I was like, "Can I get this one, over here?" And like pointed it out, and they were like, "Oh yeah." And I walked out of that nail salon with the biggest damn smile on my face. Probably like the best find I ever found in my nail polish career, if you call it that. Yeah, I do have. I mean, none of my C curves are that dramatic, but my ring finger is a little. My my fingers look so weird and chubby from that angle, but yeah, my ring fingers do have some of the deepest curve. See, so the Cert Colors one is kind of thick, and the drying time too. I mean, that I feel like that matters. That's two thin coats that dry reasonably, or one kind of glommy coat that takes forever. I would rather do two. Hollow is okay. Yeah, okay. See, I'm in my old Helmer setup. Well, I mean, it's still the one that I moved over to the other side of the room used to be the one that was right next to my desk, and the hollow drawer used to be right here. And I wanted to reach into there. I have three versions of my private jet, and they're very very different, like absurdly so. I've done comparisons before, I think, but it's like why would you ever change this? If you've gotten older, that is kind of weird. That's not something you would think would change. I think we're just about. So you guys, no, I probably should just do it right in the middle of the nail, don't you think? Like blue, like right in the center, and then where's our notebook here? And we want to have silver toward the tips or gold toward the tips. So we're looking at like this, except skinnier and with this pattern. Do I want it like that, or do I want it like? Yeah, I think I want silver at the tips. I was also thinking of having them like all toward the tip, and then like the black at the bottom, but I think I'm gonna go with center of the nail. So then we'd have a little bit of black at the tip and a little bit of black at the cuticle. Or do I want to add? It's another question. Do I want to like snug them right up against each other, or do I want to have a little bit of space in between them? I think I kind of want them pretty close. Way pinker. Yeah, I change the name, nail polish companies. Okay. We're just gonna go for this. There's no reason we can't try other versions of this manicure eventually one day. We'll start off with the blue. That's just slightly out of frame, so that's actually fine. Oh, I'm still recording here. Durr. How freaking long did that recording end up being? Oh well. We've got room on the camera, more than we did last week. We did the state fair and the conservatory slideshows when we went to see Grandma yesterday, and reminded me that I need to set a date for doing the conservatory slideshow pictures here on stream. I feel like I would love to tell you guys a day right now, but I'm actually not sure. Hopefully this coming up week. I will try to announce it on Discord with at least like a day ahead of time, or if at least like early in the day, not just like all of a sudden I'm live, for those that are interested in seeing those. which, if you haven't heard me talk about it before, is a bunch mainly of flower pictures of water lilies and tropical plants and stuff like that. Okay, so we're using this one. Yeah. Okay. I think this is dry enough. What do I want to... I'm just thinking about what I want to say. Because this is not really a technique that I've shown before. I'm sure it's not a new technique. Like, I don't think I invented this. Although if I did, I mean, that would be cool, but I don't think I did. Because really, you could do some other stuff too. Like with the shape of sponges. Like, I think it would be cool to do like some kind of triangle almost shapes coming in from the edge. Ooh, or do like a cross. Use like the corner to do like a square. And like leave little gaps, and oh, maybe that'll be something we could try sometimes. And that wouldn't require any dumb snipping and trimming to get this little thin piece. Just use the natural square corners of the sponge. That would be smart. I did something similar actually with loose glitter. Is that for Easter? Couple years ago, I think, using the corner of the sponge to create like little glittery triangles. You can't take your C curves. Sometimes they're a pain in the butt. The ones I don't like are the ones that are my curved nails, because they're not like a C curve. They're almost like I almost want to call it like a J curve. Like it comes out wonky on one side and then curls extra much on the other side, and that's what leads to the nails looking... well, not just looking curved, actually being curved. Yeah, well, because it was like a couple of them, yeah. See, streaming kind of breaks me of that. I have absolutely no excuse not to do testing before I do a manicure when I'm doing it on stream. And that kind of keeps me accountable to... A lot of times in the past, I would have a Saturday and I'd be like, oh, I'm going to do my nails or whatever. And I would not do it. And I would end up waiting until Sunday and not doing any testing. So having like Saturday at 2 o'clock, almost like, I don't want to say always, because like I feel like I've missed at least one Saturday. I can't remember exactly when. And Saturday may not always be nails. But like for right now, it really is working well, both for the experimenting and for getting the tutorial and everything recorded. A lot of times I'll confess, I'll still end up editing on Sunday, because I'll think I'm going to edit Saturday night, and then I just end up like lazing out and maybe cooking dinner. The apex of your pinky is off center. Yeah, I think that's also part of like what contributes to like when my nails curve. It's like nails that they're not symmetrical. They're better than they used to be, though, and they're better when I keep them shorter, unfortunately. I mean, like, right now, these look good. I'm really... I'd maybe would like slightly bit more of a taper, but they're looking really even and pretty straight. Even my right hand. I mean, I've got a little bit of curviness on my pointer, my index, but overall, they're all doing pretty good. Mine too, Musical. My ring and my pinky. Okay. So, in order to do these stripes, I'm going to be using a little wedge of sponge that I've cut. It's a little narrow strip, and I'm just going to be placing that directly down on my nail. I've got a plastic lid here, and I'm going to start by putting out a little bit of blue. I don't want to put out too much because I don't want to get too much on the sponge. I'm going to dip it in there kind of carefully. Like I said, not too much. You want to let some of the spongy texture come through. And then I'm going to go ahead and apply that right in the middle of my pinky. I'm going to repeat that with the blue on all my nails and then go in and apply the other colors next to it. Hopefully that made sense. I think it did. It's not complicated exactly. It's just, whoa, that came out kind of thick. And didn't get the side. Come on here. That's okay. Well, get a little bit more blue. It's like getting the appropriate amount and the appropriate placement also. Slightly tricky. I have to get it actually centered. Like I said, ending up with a little bit of polish on the side of my nails too. But that's okay. That's minor. That can be easily cleaned up. And I was worried, slightly worried, that like as I went along, well, that's kind of uneven. Oh well. That I would get too much polish like built up on the sponge and it would lose some of that spongy textured look. But that doesn't seem to be happening. So that's a good thing. Oops. Okay. Do I want to trim this for my other hand? No, I think I'll continue using the same sponge. Get out a little bit more. Let's move this over here. Carefully. Again, like not getting like a ton of polish on the sponge. You know, at one point, speaking of stamping with the sponge, at one point, oh, that's kind of crooked. Oh, well. At one point, I actually bought, what is the stuff actually called? It's a material you can carve to make your own stamps. And I was like, ooh, I could use this and carve my own nail polish stamps. But I mean, I never did. But it was something I picked up at Michael's. Like, I got this block of stuff to carve and these carving tools. And then, like, never actually followed through on it. It's pretty bad. Also, kind of typical of me. Like, get really enthusiastic with something. Oh, I feel like my left hand is really shaky today. Trying to just lay this on there. Letting the shape of the sponge do the work. And try not to have too much of a gap at the side of the nail. Like, really all you should have to do is like lay the sponge down and take it back up, but like here you can see there's just a little bitty gap. Let's get in there and alright, do we have any other gaps that really need attention? No, well, maybe a little bit right here. And a little bit more right there. Okay. Next we'll do the silver. I am too sunburnt. I'm liking that. I'm still kind of frustrated with myself that I didn't look harder to find the colors that I wanted, but I'm not mad because I don't think I'd have been able to fit them on there, because I think working with a piece of sponge any skinnier than this would be really difficult. And with using more colors, it would be more difficult to fit them on the nail. But yeah, it's really, I feel like you can see my inspiration, which is always, I mean, that always makes me like a manicure better. And I also don't want to like over sponge these when I'm trying to fill in the blank spots, because then I'm losing that textured look that is kind of the whole point. I mean, not completely. It's not just the sponge working in this case, and I mentioned that before. It's the particular polish that I chose that has, you know, various, different sizes of glitter and different, like consistencies. That's not quite right, but you know what I mean. Okay, so we need to... Alright, once I've completed all my nails with the blue, I'm going to take my little strip of sponge, cut off that used blue portion to reveal a clean end. It's the same width, and I'm going to go ahead and move on to the silver. The silver is going to go toward the tip of my nail, and once I've done that, I'm going to move on and apply the gold under the blue toward the base of my nail. Hopefully that made sense. And then we're just going to go like right next to it there. So we've still got a black tip. The silver is kind of, on camera it almost like seems to blend with the blue. But I'm really trying to like line it pretty much right up next to it. But we will have a little bit of black at the tip and at the cuticle. Unless, of course, I kind of wanted the black to show, but now I'm thinking like I could go back and add like a blue on the top and on the bottom. That might actually, well, we'll see how it looks when we finish all three colors. See, and even between those, you can kind of see a little bit that we've got a little bit more black at the tip on the ring finger than on the middle finger. Like they're not all 100% consistent. It's okay though. I feel like there should be a Bob Ross quote here about how, I mean, it's not exactly a happy accident. It's doing exactly what I want it to do. Almost. I don't know what else I would want it to do. Maybe I should say that. Let's, with this little corner, fill in right here. A little bit right there. Okay, other hand. I think so too, Musical. Also, never satisfied and never quite done with what you're working on. Like you always think of something you could have done better or even just different. And you're always kind of curious too. Like if you don't do it one way, like, oh well, what would this other way have looked like? Even if you're pleased with how it did turn out. Oops. Well, that's okay. Minor. And sometimes, like with the other colors too, you can kind of like fix. Like I said, the blue wasn't completely straight on that nail, but I can kind of even it out by how I line up the silver. Whoopsie. Okay, we're still good. And I do almost feel like I could use another sponge piece for my second hand. I can feel the sponge starting to get sticky as the polish kind of dries a little bit on there. But I was very picky and not quite fully pleased with how some of the other segments of sponge that I cut came out. This is the most even piece, so I think I'd get better results using this even piece on both hands than picking one of my more uneven pieces to do the second hand. Yes, Musical. Well, and that's the other thing when I was thinking, like I was saying, I wanted to do like 1, 2, 3 and then black and then like 1, 2, 3 and like a little bit of black. But like, even though I try to keep my nails consistent and usually like these 3 nails are usually pretty close in length, Like, to be even, the pinky is not going to be that same length, and usually the thumb isn't either. This thumb is actually quite short right now. My thumbs are not even, but I like it. It's showing my inspiration. And that's the, I don't want to say that's the most important part, but it's a hugely important part to me. 'Cause I don't know. I don't know how to exactly verbalize why that's so important, but I mean it's a huge part of it. You guys probably understand. Even though I can't put it into words. That's why you guys are, that's why it's so nice, like, streaming and hanging out and brainstorming. Because it's like, you guys get me, man. The nail polish artist in me bows to the nail polish artist in you. Namaste. Okay, now let's not overlap the blue too much. This turns into kind of an awkward angle. It really would have, I think, been easier to do the color toward my cuticle first, strictly from a viewing and placement perspective. But I felt like I wanted to do the middle color first in order to get them properly centered on my nails. So now it's like I have to kind of get a real overhead look to make sure it's lining up with the blue on the top. Whereas with the silver, I get more kind of like a little leaned back look. It's easier to line it up, if that makes sense. Whoops. Actually, that wasn't too bad. Was still a little whoops. All right. Well, and really, aside from, I mean, the testing process on this was kind of long, but this is a fairly quick actual manicure. I feel like. I have been known to not know when time is going faster than it is. Yeah, I think these look really cool on camera too. And that's, I mean, as somebody who's trying to show what I'm doing and share it with other people, I mean, that is a consideration too. A couple times it's been super frustrating to have a manicure that this is not doable on camera. A manicure that I really love and really enjoy in person, and it just looks, illegible on camera. That's maybe not the exact appropriate word, but you know what I mean. Like, it's just not showing up for whatever reason, whether the camera's just not, doing the right white balance or whatever the issue is. Oops, that was almost bad. Whoa, that's messy. Okay, carefully here. And I definitely feel like my left hand is, like, sometimes both my hands are shaky. Today I kind of feel like my left hand is shakier than my right hand. Testing was 2 hours, Musical. You're done studying and the nails look fab. Thank you, Lunar. Yeah, indistinct. Like, I could think of a whole handful of references off the top of my head. It's happened so many times. And sometimes it's hard to know or to tell. Like, sometimes, especially now, I have more of an idea, but even though I can see what I'm streaming, and I can see on the view screen of my tutorial camera, like, the webcam, the hand cam, does not record things or pick things up exactly the same as my tutorial camera. And the screen on the tutorial camera is just, you know, the little back of the camera screen. Can't always see exactly, you know, what it really is going to look like once you upload it on the computer. That's kind of crooked, but it's just carefully. I got like a hole there. I just want to dab little, just a little bit right, like right here. It doesn't want to go right where I want to put it. Okay. Don't obsess over the small crap. Okay, and I'm going to have to do this off camera again too, because it's too weird of an angle. Thumb angles are always kind of weird. And particularly for this. So let's just finish this off. Now I think too, if you had any spots where you had gone like very, very crooked or overlapped or something, you could certainly go in and oh my god, okay, I'm a spaz. Whatever. How did I I noticed, but how did I not notice at the time that I'm like skipping a nail? Oh, Musical's on it. I'm not. I'm a spaz. I'm sorry, you guys. I've been kind of a spaz this whole stream. For some reason, I'm having more trouble getting like the right overhead view on the right hand than I did with the left hand. I think I'm intentionally off camera. I know it. I knows it, you guys. I just want to get this in here really nice. Well, hopefully really nice. What I was going to say is, yeah, you could touch up with black if you really wanted the top or the bottom to be like really sharp. I do see one spot I kind of want to touch up here. Right. So like on this corner, I kind of want to bring this gold down a little bit like that. Then I want to snip off this gold part. And see, and too, like I'm getting a smaller and smaller piece of sponge to grip. That's why I wanted to have a backup piece in case it got like so small I actually couldn't deal with it. Right here on this nail, I feel like the gold is overpowering the blue a little bit right there. So we're going to go back in with the blue and just try to like kind of edge it up. There, I think that looks better. Yeah. Any other spots where the blue is... Yeah, I think that's fine. I'm not going to get too into it because it's not... I mean, it's not intended to be like a precise, crisply lined design. Still got a little bit of acetone in here. Let's do a little bit of cleanup. We've just got... in fact, let's actually get a Q-tip. And actually a tad bit more acetone. I do not need to be... I'm so used to being stingy with acetone when I was running out. I find myself still doing it sometimes. Oh, we've got Beanie washing his little face. Yeah, handsome. Everybody loves you. They say your scarf is adorable. Yeah, hi. Yeah. Sometimes I'll explain cleanup, but cleanup I don't think usually needs to be explained, or can just easily be tacked on to one of the other segments. I decided to use a Q-tip for this because, well, for one thing, it's not just right next to the nails that the sponge deposited extra glitter. Also because the Q-tip helps to actually pick up that extra glitter. Like you can get a little rougher with it than you could just with a brush, and actually, like, you see those little glitters and stuff, it actually picks up the glitter pieces more than like the cleanup brush would. So I'm gonna go with the Q-tip like right around the sides, and then I'm gonna just, with my usual brush, go in there tightly. like so. And that's almost unnecessary, but like those little glitters in there, they're stubborn. Glitter is stubborn. When I gave my mom my extra Helmer, I warned her. I said, well, be careful. You may want to clean out the top drawer. It has glitter herpes, because... Well, you guys remember when I was digging around for rhinestones and I discovered that one of my things of rhinestones had completely poured out in that drawer. I also discovered a open packet of silver glitter that had not fully spilled, but had partially spilled, and so there was just silver glitter everywhere. And I left in, like, the other thing about these drawers is, depending on how full they are and how you stack them, Helmer drawers I'm talking about, you may want to get like a drawer liner for them and cut it to size. My original Helmers, I did use drawer liners. But I think on my new ones, and when I reorganized the remaining 2 old ones, I'm not using drawer liners. And that is because I've had cases where it seems like the drawer liner like interacts with the label on the bottom of the bottle and pulls the label like right off. And I feel like that would not happen if it was just in the metal bottom. And also because since I'm going to be organizing them by brand, I don't think I'm going to have as much trouble with them like rolling around in there when I pull the drawer in or out. Because a lot of the drawers are going to be full or close to full. And since they're going to be all similar brands together, with a few exceptions, I'm thinking of like Sally Hansen here, all the bottles are going to be the same shape, so they'll nest next to each other more evenly than if you have like a bottle of China Glaze, which is round, next to a bottle of like Butter London, which is rectangular, next to a bottle of Essie, which is square, next to a bottle of, whatever, which is oval shaped. Or when you have a bunch of different shapes together, I feel like it just tends to move around more and it gets messier. I think that's the other reason I decided to, when I reorganize, go by brand, is because then all the bottles will just sit neatly next to each other. Okay, let's close these. And we'll maybe just make brief mention of the cleanup. And actually do a little more cleanup right here, because I missed that bit. Okay. Almost done here. Almost to the good part. Although I was surprised that in our test that the top coat didn't make as much difference as I thought. I am pleased that the glitter has covered up that little issue I was having on this index finger of a cat hair or whatever the heck it was. Go ahead and clean up around the edges if necessary. I used a Q-tip to help remove those stubborn little glitters and then went in closer with my normal cleanup brush. And now I'm going to finish everything off with a top coat. And as usual, I'm using Seche Vite. Alright, nice, lovely Seche Vite. And I just really... I know not everybody does, but I love Seche Vite. I got so many questions on last week's... Is that last week? Yeah. On the scoop marble. How long did it take to dry? How long did it take to dry? How long did it take to dry? Hey, how long did that take to dry? And it's like, well, with Seche Vite, it doesn't take that long. I don't know how long it would take if you didn't have a good quick dry top coat. And I mean, I didn't really time how long it, actually took. I don't know. I mean, I don't usually pay such close attention that I know when it goes from being mostly dry to fully dry. I mean, that's a conversation we've had before. Particularly with thick designs like the scoop marble. that's going to take longer than just a regular polish, but I didn't run into any problems. Which, I certainly have in the past sometimes. That's why we finished the left hand before we moved on to the right hand with that, because we didn't want problems. And Seche Vite prevented the problems. I actually have, I'm not sure where it is, the pump bottle, but I like having my little dish because I like being able to dip my brush in it and be able to dip my Q-tips in it. And the dish, I don't think I've showed it on screen today. It's pretty small. Here's my hand for comparison. So it's about, 2-3 nails high and 2-3 fingers wide. I think it's like a wasabi dish. And I just put in, well, there was a little bit more than that, but I don't fill this with acetone. But I do like having it, and I prefer it over just using the cap of the polish remover bottle, because the cap is so small and it also seems tippy to me. This has, a fairly wide base, and it's also, it's not super heavy, but it's stable. I don't ever feel like I'm going to knock it over unless I'm being like, whoa, so clumsy. Because it's a low profile. You can kind of see it's about, even the bottom is kind of thick. It's made out of ceramic or something. So it sits nicely on my table. Doesn't take up too much room. It lets me dip whatever I need to dip in there, whether that's my cleanup brush or Q-tips, or quite frequently when water marbling, the orange stick. I do like the pump bottle, like if you're like removing polish instead of like sitting with the bottle and, flipping it all the way over in order to get your cotton wet or whatever. I think that the pump I have is a Zoya one. I didn't do this thumb very evenly. That's bugging me. Not enough to redo it or anything. But I think this, of all the nails, this one does not have an even black at the cuticle versus at the tip. Most of the other ones are pretty even. This index finger, I guess, is a little bit uneven too. The left hand is really good. The left hand's super good, even on the little short stubby thumb. So, I'm so glad you guys like this. I was like, I don't know if this is really going to be to people's tastes. Well, when I started, I wasn't even sure if I'd be able to get this look, but not the colors, but the texture, I feel like is really spot on with my inspiration. For the first time. Yay. No, I'm so pleased that I could. I don't know if I'm the first one to come up with that. I kind of doubt it, but I'm so glad that I could spread it to other people, because it really does come in handy. And even just to go back and look at your designs, or look at, the Peelies are one thing, pictures, blog, YouTube is another thing, but I've always liked books and I've always liked sketchbooks, so. Wait a minute, enough food talk in here. You have no idea what to have for dinner. Music Gal's going to get BBQ. Sausage soup, pulled pork sandwich. Oh my god, you guys. I really, it's on my to-do list to do, because it's kind of, sometimes I feel like people are like, oh, whatever, chain food. But TGI Fridays has really good ribs. Maybe I could do that for dinner. I wish there was a closer location around here. There's 2 locations in 2 opposite directions, and they're almost equally far from my house. Like cornbread crackers. Yeah. Well, and then there's that too, Sunburn. It's I have all these plans while I'm streaming, and then when I stop streaming and that stream adrenaline crashes, I'm like, man, I don't want to drive anywhere. I just want to cook something and eat it and sit here. Maybe edit. I really should edit, especially because Sundays, as long as Clark is in level 1, Sunday is puppy class pretty early in the afternoon. Quick-ish. I mean, not like super fast, especially like so you can keep it flat and then it like spreads out and then it probably does quicker. But a lot of the times I'll take just like a Q-tip or something and stick it under the edge and then it will just pool in one side. Or even like at a little angle and then it'll pool down in the corner. And especially like with orange sticks, then I can, if I have a little bit more in here, really tip it to get a deeper part. Because you know when you're water marbling, the orange stick can get pretty gnarly, especially if you're using it to clean out the cup. So yeah, I mean it probably does dry out. I mean sometimes you guys will even witness that. I'll go to use some and I'll be like, oh, it's gone. It's because it's evaporated while I've been talking or being distracted. Good with chili, yes. They're not really chips, are a little sweeter than chips. Yeah. Orange juice. Thank you. I'm glad you like it. Simple and glittery and perfect. Thank you, Lunar. Thank you, Anne. Yeah, it's hard only being able to test on your nails or having like little, scrap of paper with a little small test on it. And I mean, I still end up doing that sometimes because I just like grab a piece of paper and sketch something on it and it turns out to be good enough that I want to keep it. Sunflower, I'm sorry. Not a fan of pork or beef or even chicken if it's in big hunks that don't have some sort of sauce to cover up the flavor. Like, I don't want any of these. Just give me sauce. Yeah, and like I said, I mean, I think, in fact, maybe even, that might actually be kind of cool. Like, use the 2 pinks and do, like I was saying, like the cross idea. Like a pink in this corner and a pink in this corner and then a purple in this corner and a purple in this corner and like have it be like, the base color as a cross coming through. Either the black or something else. We'll see. I really want to do another scoop marble again. We have stamping with color clubs. I haven't forgotten. We have water marbling with color clubs. I also haven't forgotten. We have so many things. Some things I probably have forgotten, to be honest. But, excuse me. Luke, thank you. Yeah, I think this would look good with the Halo Chrome collection too. Like the technique. I really picked the crushes because of like the different sizes of glitter and stuff in there. I thought would create the texture that I really wanted. But I think like you could use this technique with any finish of nail polish, regular, hollow, creams or whatever, and you'll be able to do like that same sort of technique. It may or may not give you the same sort of textury look, but also too, like, remember we tested, if you're looking for texture, you can also create texture by getting a more textured sponge, which in this case I think textured polish and textured sponge was a little bit of overkill, although we did use medium textured sponge and not really smooth latexy textured sponge. I don't know. And the thing is, you never know, and that's why testing is always important. Even when you think you know, you probably don't know. So always test. I'm always pleased that I test, and I'm usually displeased if I try to get away with not testing. Yeah, what'd you buy, Luke? Did you buy something for dinner while you were out? And if so, what was it? Sitting here thinking about what I'm gonna get after I'm done streaming, and where I'm gonna send you lovely people also, because we are reaching the end of our stream here. What is going on Twitch today? Looks like the brace must be over, which I'm really not surprised because it's like 5:30 now. because that would have been fun to host one of the racers. There was a Hollow Knight randomizer race today. Oh, that's hilarious, but I'm disappointed. Andy's doing his Bob Ross cosplay, but he's not doing Mario Paint. He's doing Mario Kart. Tacos. Deli stuff, fruit, potatoes, and taco fixing. I have apples downstairs. I have Sweet Tango apples downstairs, which are a hybrid of Honeycrisp and something else. And if you are anywhere else and buying like Honeycrisps, FYI, if they're not grown in a properly chilly environment, they're not as good as they could be. We were having this discussion with my family the other day about how like there's this new apple that the U of M developed this year. I think it's called First Kiss or something. It's another Honeycrisp hybrid, and how only Minnesota grown apples will bear the First Kiss name, and if they're grown somewhere else, they're going to be called, I don't even remember, but that the reason was because they had lost control of the name with the Honeycrisp, and these poor quality out-of-state grown Honeycrisps that aren't as crispy and delicious were like ruining the Honeycrisp name. And so with their new apple that they developed, they like, you know, did this legal stuff so that if it's not grown in Minnesota, it's not a First Kiss. And I didn't get to taste any of the First Kiss yet. I'd love to, but the Sweet Tango is my current favorite kind of apple. Sweet, a little bit tangy, extremely crispy, like, you know, some apples are kind of like mealy, or you bite into them and it's just kind of like little wheat crunch. No, this is like an apple like you have in your dreams. I'm gonna have to go have one once I'm done with stream here. Yes, Luke, they are my absolute favorite. I wish I could get them all year round, and you can't yet because they're a fairly new apple. I want to say they're only like 4 years old. Granny Smith. Yeah, designer apples, exactly. I think, oh, I'm so indecisive here. Could go see Jerry, could go see Bob Ross, could go see Pottery. What do you guys think? I don't know what that game is. Sometimes I see people, I'm like, God, I've never even heard of this game. I'm still so, like, I play games, but I don't think I count as a gamer because I'm so clueless sometimes. I'm like, I ain't never heard of this game here. Autumn Glory apples. I have not. Yeah, Sunburnt. Tart apples are good. That's what the Sweet Tangos are so good, because they're tart, but they're also sweet. They're like the perfect, refreshing balance. Sloppy Kiss for non-mini snowflake apples. I've never heard of that either. Pottery sounds fun. Dr. Crotron, you're back just in time to see the finished manicure. Woo! And you guys, I mean, they're hollow. It's not just being washed out by the ring light in this case. At least applied like this, they're not as hollow maybe as the Chrome collection. Well, the silver actually is pretty hollow if I get it at the right angle. Part of it's being washed out by the ring light. I really should wear these as a plain manicure sometimes, or maybe do a pedi. I could use a fresh pedi. And what we were gonna do something else with these too, weren't we? Or maybe I was thinking of doing something and I haven't told you guys about it yet. Because I wanted them so badly, and then this is the first time I've used them. I don't know. Okay. We only had one vote. Well, I mean, I don't know if I didn't really call it a poll or anything, but I think we're gonna send you guys to go check out some. Well, I'm not gonna send you. I'm not rating. I'm just gonna host. But very, I would almost say meditative. It's so mellow and chill watching somebody do clay, like pottery, like on a pottery wheel, and she makes it look so easy. So I'm going to send you guys over to Play in the Mud. Well, like I said, not send you. I'm just hosting. If you like what you see, there'll be a little button you can click and you can actually go to the channel, or you could stay here in my channel and just lurk and watch. But I do encourage you to go over and check it out if you enjoy it. You know, streamers always enjoy new people popping in, and I mean, I can say from my own experience, even just saying hello is so appreciated. Trader Joe's green apple sparkling water. Is it the non-sweetened kind of sparkling water, Sunburnt? Because I can't get down with those. Taco Bell. Oh no, now that's another craving I could have. You're welcome, by the way, Sunburnt. And thank you, and you're welcome to all you guys for hanging out with me. Those of you who like to hang out with me while I game, tomorrow night we're going to be doing my very first speed run attempt in Hollow Knight. I guess we're going to go... There's a couple different in-game achievements, and I'm going to try and beat the whole game in under 5 hours. So that's going to be starting as usual, 6 o'clock Central Time. And as for the upcoming week, I'm really going to try and figure out a day when we can at least do a little slideshow stream and show you guys the water lily flowers. Stay tuned in my Discord for that. If anybody's not in my Discord, you can certainly pop in and join us. We talk about nails and food and animals, and would love to have you join. Thank you all so much for hanging out. I hope you have a wonderful evening or afternoon, or maybe you're even somewhere where it's morning. And yeah, I hope I'll see you next time.